Excellent, excellent, excellent. So excited. The Hurricanes took care of business last night. ESPN analysts and all types of other people talking about, oh, you better watch out for Drake. That's the 12 seed. Watch out. They've got Miami's number. Norchad O'Meara, like Willis Reed, coming out, showing out, balling out. And of course, the Miami Hurricanes get the big win. They are going to be playing Indiana. A lot of the pundits, Vladmir, my cousin, is with me right now, Vladimir Louison. Vladimir, a lot of the pundits said, Drake, oh, watch out. They're going to beat Miami. And a lot of the other pundits, even Stephen A. Smith, I got Indiana in the national championship game. Watch Miami break all their hearts, ruin all their lives, and take over. I'm telling you, man, Coach L, that he's not going into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Come on, man. He didn't even get nominated this year. He was one of the people that was kind of like up
semifinalist.
Semifinalist. After this year, though, watch out. Coach L, like a fine wine, it just gets better and better with time. He did it at George Mason. He's done it here at Miami. You know how he applied for the job at Miami? He sent him his Wikipedia page. He's like, here, just look at my Wikipedia page. It stands for itself. Gotta love Coach L right there. That is beautiful, beautiful work.
What an end, man. What an end to that game.
My guy right there, man. I absolutely. Yeah, great run that they made right there at the very end of the game. Much, much love. Of course, it was a very busy week in the sports world. South Florida, we got you covered because girls is players too.
And away we go, and O'Meara wins the opening tip.
Miami-Dade's north right here. Here at Amway Center.
Cause girls is players too.
As this one getting underway, the biggest difference about playing on a baseball field as opposed to even a tight soccer pitch. You're talking about differences in turf, sometimes back when you were playing, even infield dirt, let alone the dimensions.
Penthouse suites looking down on the ops. Took her for a test drive, left them on the lot.
Welcome inside FLA Live Arena. It's the Panthers and the Jets.
Miami Heat in the traditional home white. Jet black with fluorescent yellow on the chest and back of the Utah Jazz.
Apple bottom make them wanna bite.
Welcome inside FLA Live Arena here in Sunrise. Panthers and the Montreal Canadiens.
Hold up. If you don't know, now you know. If you broke, then you gotta let him go.
So with the Heat in the championship red and a blue that doesn't look anything like my suit tonight, it's time to ball, y'all. The Heat is on the radio.
Pack for the lead. In the air. Got it! Two-pointer. Pack puts Miami in front with 1 minute to go.
Jimmy with a long fake. Leans in for three. Got it! Got it! Got it!
Gives to Tkachuk, right circle, a shot, and he scores! Matthew Tkachuk out of the right circle, and the Panthers take a 9-4 lead.
Five-star food, that tastes so delicious.
And the final whistle brings a frantic close in the Bronx. And NYC pockets a win, even though they could not put the ball past Drake Callender. 1-0 on the own goal against McVay in the first half. Inter Miami, a gutsy effort they should be proud of.
Front tipped in, they score. Recovering a loose puck in front was Shifley, and he wins it for the Jets in overtime, 5-4 the final.
Cause girls is players too.
Good win by Orlando, 126-114 in overtime.
And the horn sounds, the Panthers take it tonight, 9-5.
This one belongs to the Heat, 119 to 115, led by the 24 points of Jimmy Butler. Oh, they're playing the music early, but it is winning time. This one belongs to the Heat, 138-119, taking care of business.
What you know about living on the top?
And the Hurricanes go on a 16-1 run, and Miami goes to round 2 of the NCAA tournament in incredible, dramatic fashion. Miami 63, Drake 56. That's your final score in Albany. What a change of events.
Apple bottom make them wanna bite.
Vladmir, are you still believing in the Hurricanes all the way to the national championship game? You had that take. Are you sticking with it?
Absolutely now.
Whoo! I like him against Indiana too. I'm excited. I'm excited.
With all these upsets happening, I like Miami's chances.
Ooh. Oh, what about FAU, by the way? What
My
a
alma
crazy,
mater, baby, the Owls.
crazy game last night. Great layup with 2.5 seconds left. And oh yeah, by the way, they get 16 seed Fairleigh Dickinson. Sweet 16? Possible? Very possible. Very
Anything can
exciting.
happen now, man.
We got a great show on the way today. It's going to be a fun one. We're going to get to your headlines in just a minute. A couple of minutes, you and I, we're going to discuss the Dolphins' offseason moves. And trust me, they have been making some moves. Do you like it? Do you care? Do you not care? We'll see. Also going to get to what I like. Not to mention Tommy Tighe going to be stopping by. He's got the Heat game later on today. He's going to be on the broadcast. He's going to stop by, talk all things Heat with us. We're going to keep it a buck. Also, talk some more NCAA tournament, a little something or nothing. Novak Djokovic, I do not get that dude one bit, but maybe Vladmir, you could enlighten me on what in the world is going through what is the best player of our generation, nonetheless. And Solana, going to stop by for 3 questions later because he's got preheat for you coming up at 6:45. But right now, let's get into some of the headlines that are happening in and around the world. Former All-Pro Patriots punter Jake Bailey has signed with the Dolphins. Yesterday, Miami further bolstered their special teams by inking former Canes returner Braxton Berrios. Does Jake Bailey excite you, Vlad?
No, but the Miami Jets do.
Ah, Miami Jets. Did you like Braxton Berrios with the Jets?
I did, but he dropped a critical 4th down touchdown in the goal line against Minnesota that really cost us the season. So, I can't hate on him because he's a former Cane and former Jet. So I wish him well, just not against us.
It's a good fit right there. Getting Braxton Berrios back to South Florida. Of course, he's got the whole reality show. His wife is on one of those millions and billions of reality.
Him and McCaffrey, I think they're dating sisters.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
it's like the Colfax sisters or something
and
like
they're
that.
like beautiful.
Yeah, well, I mean, come on, man. If you're a pro athlete, you should be dating something pretty good, man. That's what we'll get into that. We'll get into Lionel Messi in just a minute, man. If you're a pro athlete or you're like a superstar in the world, don't marry your high school sweetheart. But let's not get too far off sports right now.
Who are they supposed to marry then?
A newbie, someone that loves you
so
for who
mean.
you become, not for who you were.
What do you mean? That's the one that you want.
I'm terrible with relationships.
But that's so the one that also gets the money when you mess up.
That's that prenup, baby.
Yeah.
Prenup.
Well, yeah, we get into that.
We want a prenup, man. Kanye didn't teach you nothing.
Absolutely, you get a prenup.
You get the biggest prenup from the best lawyer. Okay, we're sidetracking. Got a fun afternoon, and we're going to be talking mostly sports, maybe a little bit of bad relationship advice from me, but nonetheless. Behind a strong second half, the Canes men's basketball team defeated Drake 63-56. They face the 4 seed Indiana tomorrow at 8:40. The ladies team, they're currently playing right now, and they're getting beat by Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State, very good. The ladies, I don't know, those Cavender twins, come on, pull us through. The Heat, they're in Chicago tonight, and they face the Bulls. Tip is at 8 o'clock. The Heat have gotten healthy, Vlad, and all year long, that's what we've heard. Wait till they get healthy. They're healthy, and they're winning.
They're starting to play well.
Are you getting high on the Heat? Are you getting high?
I'm always
on
high.
the Heat? On the Heat. I'm starting to get high on the Heat. You know who else I'm getting high on?
Who?
The Panthers.
Panthers are playing well.
Woo!
That Palmer, even though they lost last Saturday after
they got a point. They got a point.
Right? They did get a point, but Thursday night, the ass whooping they gave.
I thought something was wrong with the TV.
What in the puck was going on?
I was like, wait. They've scored 7 goals in like 3 minutes?
Dude, I was like, what? Wait a minute.
I was like, something's wrong.
Is this a baseball score?
I thought something was wrong. I was like, is this like a replay? What's going on here?
I'm like, this is Marlins spring training. The Marlins couldn't put up 9 runs.
Shoot. No, the Marlins can give up 15.
No, they can
16.
give up. They can give up. Wow, Panthers were playing.
Man, Marlins
very well.
Marlins are getting there. I mean, don't put too much into spring training. But the Marlins get their ass whooped on a regular basis.
They just getting you ready for the season.
Don't do that to me, man. Don't do that. That's my favorite baseball team, man. Don't do that to me. But yes,
Hard times, Daddy.
I'm high on the Heat. Don't let me go. Don't let me down, Heat. I'm also high on those Panthers. They defeated the Canadiens. They hung 9 on the Canadiens. Now the Canadiens are a good team. Don't get me wrong, but still, they play the Devils, a good team, tonight, 6 o'clock.
Let me tell you this, Dan. We're in what? This is March 18th, spring break. So everybody's high, right?
Yeah.
And we're not advocating getting high.
No, we can
unless you go by the proper, get the proper paperwork.
Go ahead.
I'm high on all these South Florida teams right now.
That's what I'm saying. I tell people all the time that I'm high, and they look at me like, you shouldn't be saying that. You can get high on other things, like on life, on sports teams. So when I say I'm getting high, It could mean a lot of things. but a
Yeah, it
lot of
doesn't
times,
it doesn't have to mean any like narcotics
I
or
don't need
herbal or
stimulants
anything.
to
Yeah,
get me
stimulants.
high.
No.
I get high on hanging out with you, Vlad. I get high on the Hurricanes winning last night, FAU winning last night.
Sports is a drug.
The Raging Cajuns almost beating Tennessee the other night. Oh,
And right now, South Florida's got a good buzz going on.
Let's keep our buzz going this spring break.
Canes win. And what's today? Today's the weekend. That's when
18th.
usually everybody
No,
gets buzzed,
yesterday
right?
was St. Patrick's Day.
Right. Well, yesterday was St. Patrick's Day. Today's Saturday. All the teams are playing.
And let's get high again.
Except for the Canes. And then the Canes and the Heat play tomorrow. So you're going to get high this whole weekend with the South Florida sports teams. And you can listen to all of this on WQAM. Look at that shameless plug.
About.
Ooh, I'm getting good.
You're good. You're good. All right, let's talk about the Marlins. They are 1-5 in their past 6 spring training games. They're going to face the Nationals today and probably lose 18-1. I'm just going to say.
That can happen.
Lionel Messi's father, and I got some inside information on Lionel Messi's father, by the way, who is also his agent. George is his name, but it's the Argentinian way, Jorge. He denied rumors that his son left PSG's practice the other day and is asking for 600 million euros from Saudi Arabia's Al Hilal. But he did not say Messi is ruling out playing for Inter Miami in the future. Of course, the Herons.
Stop.
They play Toronto FC tonight at 7:30.
I'm sick of it.
Messi lives here. His pops lives here. Good friend of mine. His name's Fabio, my old neighbor. He actually...
The model?
No, he's not fine. He's Colombian nonetheless. He actually parks cars for a restaurant right around here called Tighe. He says that Messi's dad comes there on a regular basis. Very high-end restaurant. He said a burger costs $50. You know how much every time he's parked Messi's dad's car, how much Messi's dad has tipped him?
$2.
He wishes. Zero.
Yeah, well,
Zero. This man could possibly be asking for $600 million and his dad's not giving him a tip.
That's how you stay
George.
That's how you stay rich. That's how you stay with $600 million. You don't tip.
George, I know you're not listening. Nonetheless.
Jorge,
come on, bro. You got the money. You're your own son's agent. Man, that's some insight right there. You're not going to get that anywhere else. That Lionel Messi's father, not big on the tipping when he goes to La Tigre. I don't know. At the World Baseball Classic, man, I don't know about you, Vlad.
I've been watching.
Panama versus Italy. I'm in. Like, I'm all
I've
in.
been watching every game when I wake up in the morning, for that wake and
like
bake.
2 o'clock in the morning.
I'm watching Australia versus Japan.
I stay until 2 o'clock in the morning
Bro.
watching these games. They're great. They're unbelievable. I know Italy, everybody loves them because they've got an espresso machine in the dugout. Mike Piazza's out there running around.
That's awesome.
Man,
that is awesome.
I got a lot on the line today. World Baseball Classic, USA versus Venezuela.
Woo! By the way,
7
the
o'clock,
traffic,
Lone Depot Park, sold out. Every game is sold out from here on out.
absolutely. By the way, you know what?
But you know what? When the USA wins today,
Okay.
Cuba tomorrow, semifinal, winner goes home.
Oh my God.
How
I am
hyped.
off, dude. How crazy tomorrow South Florida will be if you have a United States Cuba semifinal
Ooh!
match. And then you also have Canes versus Indiana.
Ooh, and FAU. Ooh.
And FAU.
Ooh.
And the Heat versus
and
the
Heat.
Pistons.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Man.
It's a lit weekend right here in South Florida, man.
Telling
Good
you.
St. Patrick's Day weekend.
I love those beautiful Venezuelan women, but when it comes to national pride and comes to baseball, USA all the way. I asked Danny Garcia yesterday. Now, he is a proud Cuban American. I said, who you cheering for? If USA and Cuba play, let me know. He straight up said, USA all the way, baby. He said, nah, that's the way it is, man. That's the way I am too. It doesn't matter who USA is playing. USA number one. Let's go. Let's beat Venezuela. Got a little something on that game too, you know what I'm saying? But let's go take care of Cuba too. Look, Cuba, I have nothing against the country. But when the USA is playing, let's go. Let's go. Now, my dude, Giuseppe the Great, he's all in on Cuba. He was born and raised in Cuba, but he lives here in Miami. I'm like, man, you can't be doing that to me. But nonetheless, like I said, if USA was playing Haiti, Vlad, we're going USA. Oh, I don't like that breathing. I
can't go against my people. Come on, man. My parents are Haitians, man.
Benedict Arnold
It's
over
not
here.
Benedict Arnold. They don't win. I'm going to root for them to win.
Lucky your family, man.
My cousin. I got a rep for my family.
Telling you. Canes baseball team, they walked off the 17th ranked Virginia Tech Hokies last night, 4-3. The two play a doubleheader today. They just got underway at 2:00, and then they're playing at 6:00. Oh, revel in this. FAU, proud alumnus over there.
Yeah.
Those Owls, they hit a last-second layup to down Memphis in the NCAA tournament. They will play the 16th seed Fairleigh Dickinson tomorrow at 7:45. Oh, man, that got me high last night, man. I am not going to lie. And I ain't gonna lie, I also came and predicted that Memphis was gonna win that game because they beat Houston. They were kind of riding the high, but FAU took them down.
You know what's crazy, right? I forgot to pick FAU in my bracket.
Yeah.
And I for some reason I was like, wait a minute, I picked Memphis? I was like, that's wrong. And I'm a proud alum.
Yeah, as an alum, bro.
And I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't mean to do that.
Look, I didn't go to the University of Louisiana Lafayette Raging Cajuns. My best friend graduated from there, Bo Boudreaux. I was actually talking to him a minute ago, but I picked UL. I mean, I did some partying and hanging out with some Cajun ladies in Lafayette, but I never went to school there. But I picked them, man. I really thought they were going to beat Tennessee, man. They almost did, but yeah, I can't believe you didn't pick FAU.
Neither did I. I'm like, wait a minute, I picked Memphis.
Now, did you have some jelly on that bracket, or was it just for fun?
No, I got jelly on the back end. That's why I was upset. No, but that's why I was upset because I'm like, oh, FAU, I'm gonna. It's one of those brackets where you win, you get a point for winning, but you also get a point for like whatever the seed was that won.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So this
8-9.
year. Yeah, but this is the year that you wanted to pick some of these upsets. Like, whoever picked Fairleigh Dickinson, you're going. You got some points there. That's like points. 17 points you just won there.
And right now you have Duke and Tennessee playing. Can both teams lose and be eliminated from the tournament? Because that's what I want. I want that. I want that. I do not like either of those teams.
I know. You're from Louisiana.
And Duke's got a bunch of frat boys running around. Although that Flipkowski guy, he's pretty good. But nonetheless, a bunch of frat boys running around. I don't know.
Frat boys.
Frat boys. Nonetheless, we're going to get into this later, and you're going to try to help me understand this. Novak Djokovic has been denied a COVID-19 vaccine exemption by the U.S. and will not be able to participate in the Miami Open, which begins next week. I don't get Novak Djokovic, and maybe listeners.
Wait a minute,
and maybe you. We're going to get into it later, and look, the gloves are going to come off. I mean, I'm not going to get as political as maybe some people want, but I need to understand what he's thinking. I don't get it. I don't get what he's doing. And Vlad, you're going to help me because you know how to speak to me, and maybe you're going to help me see the other side of what's going on with the Joker. Oh, no, he's not the Joker. Djokovic.
No, he's a Joker.
I almost threw some shade towards
Jokic.
Yeah, Jokic. Nonetheless, no more shade. Let's go ahead and take a step into the day spa. A Connecticut nature photographer captured an image of a bald eagle snatching someone's pizza for a lunch of his own. I wonder what the bald eagle's favorite toppings are. Like, really? I was at some place called Vista in the Design District.
That's a good question.
I would think veggies, probably mostly.
What? It's like,
I don't know though. Bald eagles like meat. Birds eat meat.
So you think he got sausage?
He might have got a little
pepperoni. Yeah, he's got to get the pep. Yeah, he's got to get the
pepperoni. Yeah, we saw that.
Well, wait, is the pep gonna go? What can they? The pep might be too circular for his little beak.
No. They got a big beak, man. I think bald eagle wants some pepperoni.
All right, we're going pepperoni.
We're going pepperoni with that pizza. So bald eagles, if you need some pizza, we'll put some pepperoni on it for you. Up next, we're coming back. We're going to talk a little bit about what the Dolphins have done this offseason. It's only been a couple of days with the free agency, and they are rocking and rolling. Vlad and I are going to take a look at it and see if it's good, if it's bad, or if it's meh. That's next here on Sports Day 560 WQAM.
Breaking news from AM 560 Sports W.
560 WQAM. This is Sports Day. A little later in the day than we usually are on. We're usually on from noon to 4 Eastern time. Today, though, we got a Heat game, and they said, hey, you guys set it up. The Heat will knock it down. So Vlad and I said, yeah, let's do a little afternoon Sports Day, and that's exactly what we are doing right now. Just a little while. Tommy Tighe going to be stopping by. He's going to be talking about his broadcast career. He's seen some things. He's from the Northeast area, New York area, and he's going to be talking a lot about the Heat. We're going to see if the Heat are for real now that they're healthy, or if not. And Solana going to be stopping by later in the show for 3 questions before he gets pre-Heat start. Of course, got some good text coming in, 305-567-0560. I know, Vlad, someone responded to you about what bald eagles like on their pizza.
Yeah, anchovies.
That is a pretty good choice right
They
there.
said bald eagles love fish, so I'm guessing they're getting anchovies from the 786.
There you go. I'm down for some anchovy paste, maybe some anchovies on my pizza. I'll put anything on a pizza. I'll eat. Like last night, I was at a place called Vista in the Design District. I went to play. I just run around. I was in the Design District.
Oh, you flashy, huh?
You're
fancy.
I'm living that life, man. I'm trying to live that life. It's St. Patrick's Day, so I went to a place called Jass's Kitchen, Jass Kitchen. It's a Turkish place. They had some jazz music and had some food. Then we went to Vista, got some pizza. I got a veggie pizza, so wolfed all that down. Luckily no bald eagle came and took it away from me, but we got some other people hitting us up on WQAM's YouTube page. We are YouTube Live and on Twitch. Drew says, Dan and Vlad, the classic faces made for radio duo.
You're lying.
I'm pretty. I don't know. We got some good genes, he and I, man. We pretty.
Your girl loved me last night.
Ray put in, who would have thought FAU would be a game from being in the Sweet 16?
Bro.
Very logical, very realistic.
I might have to go to New York City if they make it to the Sweet 16.
I mean, you can beat Fairleigh Dickinson. I know Fairleigh Dickinson be the number 1 seed. Okay, whatever, man. You're very, very much likely to beat Fairleigh Dickinson. And I believe in this FAU team, and I believe in this Canes team. Miami could be the center of the basketball world. You get the Canes making a run. You get FAU making a run. The Heat, they've been winning. Center of the basketball universe. Watch out, New York City. We're coming for you. Sergey has joined us again. He thought he was getting a break. No. You actually, Sergey, since you love us so much, Vlad and I are going to try to expand. We're not just going to be on Saturdays. Maybe one day Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
You might have to hear us all weekend.
7 days a week. Give me that contract or whatever. But I do want to talk about the Dolphins real quick because the Dolphins, man, can't say they're not trying to win. They're putting it out there. They have just signed Steelers linebacker Malik Reed. Of course, that's just the tip of the iceberg. They got Jake Bailey. That's a former all-pro punter from the Patriots. Braxton Berrios, very good. What do you call him? Possession receiver.
Former all-pro special teamer.
Yeah, great special teamers. You're justifying your special teams. You can and of course, the biggest catch, Jalen Ramsey. I know some people are out there saying, I don't know about Jalen Ramsey. I'm stoked. I am high on Jalen Ramsey. I like the fact that he is coming here. He's a big-time player that can make big-time plays. Got to fill the void, One side, you got Xavier Howard. The other side, you got Jalen Ramsey. They're already hanging out at Heat games. You got to like the moves the Dolphins have been making. I mean, there's nothing not to like. They are all in. Mike White, they get the Jets backup quarterback. Is Mike White coming here to be a backup?
He's a backup, but I expect to see him at least start 2 to 3 games.
We talked about this. We need Tua to be really healthy this year, but Mike White
you
is
need
shown.
Tua, not we. Don't put your cousin in this.
But how do you feel about the Jalen Ramsey acquisition for the Miami Dolphins? I think it's great. I think it's a home run.
I think it is a home run. It's a great acquisition. I always thought going to last season before seeing what my team did in their secondary. I always thought you guys had one of the top 3 secondaries in the league. Byron Jones, unfortunately, was not able to play. He's hurt. You let him go. Jalen Ramsey, he's an all-pro.
Yeah,
he's one of them dudes.
He's done it.
But I have to be honest, I've seen a little slippage in his plays. But if you look at the stats, Pro Football Focus and everything, it still shows him as one of the top 5 cornerbacks in the game. You add him with Xavier.
Yeah.
You have a great secondary. And listen, it's a passing league, and you need cornerbacks that can cover. So, great acquisition.
That's so cool. Like back in the 80s and stuff like that, no one wanted to play cornerback, man. Now it's like some of your best athletes play these DB and cornerback positions because you can get paid. You can make it in this league. So it's good to see that. I like Jalen Ramsey. I'm sure the grading on it is very good for the Dolphins for what they've done. I think Braxton Berrios, and you got River Craycraft coming back too. That's one of those things a lot of people kind of forget about River Craycraft. He got some big passes last year for the Dolphins. He got some touchdowns. He's a solid player, and I'm really excited to have him back on the team. I've liked everything the Dolphins have done this offseason in this free agency. I thought it's really been a good one. You get Jalen Ramsey. That's awesome. You get the punter over there from of course, the Patriots, and now you got Malik Reed. He's a solid linebacker, and you're shoring up that defense. And I mean, Jake Bailey, punters, whatever. There's still that talk. Oh, goodness. Are we going to play this game? Can we play it a little bit?
What talk?
Derrick Henry to Miami.
Nah, you already signed. You brought the band back together. You brought Wilson and Mostert back.
How do you like that? Is it much ado about
continuity?
Nothing? I like it.
And in that offense, look, in that offensive system that Mike McDaniel runs, which is pretty much the Kyle Shanahan offense. It was always running back by committee. I know they got McCaffrey now, but it's literally running back by committee. Anybody can run that ball, so it's good to bring them back. You don't really have to go crazy and trade. You don't even have that many picks left,
right?
So Derrick Henry's out of the picture. You traded that whatever asset you did have, you gave it up for Jalen Ramsey. So no. I'm done with that Derrick Henry type, Derrick Henry trade talk. No.
I'm happy with the stable that we have. And I think bringing the guys back is important because, yeah, you could say maybe last year, actually their numbers were pretty good last year for the most part, but you got to feel as though Mike McDaniel in his second year going to try to implement more of the running game. It seemed like last year he kind of forced the passing game too much. I think now that he's like a second year coach, he's got the first year kind of jitters and unshakiness out. I think he's going to lean a little bit more on that running game. And when you got a stable of backs that are as fast as Mostert and Jones, you got something right there. I am very, very excited to see what he's going to do with these guys. Now they've been in the system. He's kind of getting his system in place. And you say, oh, he should have ran the ball more last year. I think this year he is going to run the ball more. And I think he made that commitment. He's got his guys. There's something important about having your guys, not other people's guys, your guys in there. I like the move.
I like the move of bringing these guys back. Continuity, second year with Tua. You got Waddle. Obviously Tyreek. I just don't know what you're going to do at the tight end position. But this is a deep tight end draft.
Are you going to miss Gesicki now that he's going to the Patriots?
Not in that offense. Not in that offense.
I mean, they didn't use him that much last year anyway. And obviously, Mike McDaniel did not like him. I don't think
he didn't like him, or he just wasn't a good fit.
I don't think they really made any bones about it. They just didn't get. I mean, he wasn't his guy. Like I said, you got to have your guys. He was not Mike McDaniel's guy. Apparently, he didn't block enough for him. I don't know. But you know what? He's off. He's going to be with the Patriots. Whatever. He may burn us once or twice. I don't think he will that much. I'm okay with losing Mike Gesicki. I mean, we knew we were going to lose him. So, I mean, it's easy to say I'm okay with that. But, I mean, they didn't really use him. They didn't really want him in this program. So,
he just didn't fit. He's not Greg Kittle. He's not Greg Kittle-esque. So, he didn't fit in that offense. So, good luck to him in New England. But I think you needed to bring that running, the Wilson, Mostert. They know that offense.
Yeah.
They're from that offense, so they know that offense. And just keep them healthy.
I really do think that Mike McDaniel is going to implement more of a running game this season. You're going to see it. He's going to really, really push. It's going to help Tua. And, I mean, it also helps if you can get ahead in games, which, sometimes the Dolphins were, sometimes the Dolphins weren't. But it seemed like last year he just kind of overdid the passing. I think he's learned his lesson. I think he's going to try to establish a really strong running game. And like I said, he's got the stable. He's got the guys. And it takes a little pressure off of Tua because we know Tua has been injury prone in the past. And they've kind of bolstered the offensive line. They've got some new guys in, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to hope the best for the running backs. Sergey saying, I like Mostert. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to like about Mostert, and I'm glad we kept the guys.
Just can't stay healthy. That's it.
Yeah,
he's a Ferrari that gets, when he gets dinged up, it's a couple of, 2 to 3 weeks. You got to get those parts from Europe.
Yeah, but that's why you have a stable now. Once again, the NFL has changed. It used to be like when Leroy Horde played, who works here at 560 WQAM, just keep feeding him the ball. Let him run his body down as much as possible. Now you try to keep guys fresh, a little less tread on the tire. You kind of get them out in some more passing situations. You try to get them on the open field. It's just a different league now. And of course, it is a quarterback-driven league. It's a passing league. But at the same time, having a good running game is very important. It seems like Miami has laid the groundwork to having a strong running game. And you know what? With a good running game, the passing game gets better. The offensive line seems to be a little bit better. Everything just seems to go a little bit smoother when you commit to the run and you run the ball. And hopefully that's something that the Dolphins can do this year. And that's something that we're going to definitely be keeping an eye on. And of course, when you're committed to the running game, that also means you're probably ahead in a lot of the games and winning a lot of games. So let's not get too cute. Let's get our stable of backs going. Let's keep it going. And you got to admit, Vlad, the Dolphins, they seem to be all in. This is it. They believe that they've got the coach. They believe they've got the quarterback. They believe they've got the talent. They believe that they can win now.
Dan, you can't half-ass it right now in the AFC.
No, not in the East.
The whole conference.
Yeah, no play.
Every division except for the South. You cannot half-ass it. If you do, you're gonna be left behind.
But just look at your division. I mean, you got the Bills, who everybody loves, who I think, say what you want. Josh Allen, the big moments, he kind of, nonetheless, Bills are a very good team. Patriots, I mean, you got Bill Belichick. What else can you ask for? And then, of course, your Jets. The defense on the Jets is great. Your only problem is you don't have a quarterback.
We have a quarterback.
Oh, yeah, you're about to get a quarterback. That's
we have
right.
a quarterback.
That's right. You got a good receiver over there in Lazard.
And we have a great quarterback and a great number one.
You got a great receiver, man.
We have a great receiver, Garrett Wilson. Yeah.
How are you going to get the ball to the receivers, though?
We have a quarterback.
Zach Wilson?
No, Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I didn't see that.
You didn't have to see it. You heard that. You heard it on the Pat McAfee show.
How ugly is that right there? Where Green Bay's just like, you know what? Whatever's best for both of us. We're mutually beneficial. And then
they're
Aaron
a bitter
Rodgers
witch.
Goes on there and says, I intend to play with the Jets. Lazard signs with the Jets saying, I'm in preparation of Aaron Rodgers.
Green Bay's, you bitter.
It's going to have to happen. It has to happen.
We don't care. You take all the time.
You happy with Aaron Rodgers?
Happy.
I'm
ecstatic.
I get the feeling you get one good year from him. That's it.
I don't care. Let me ask you this.
One good year.
If Rihanna broke up with A$AP Rocky and said, I give you 1 year, Dan Day.
I'll take one night.
Okay, then. That's Aaron right now. I've never seen a quarterback. I've never seen a franchise quarterback. You see how you guys long for Marino because you got a chance to see a real quarterback? I have not seen a real quarterback in my 45 years of existence, okay, of my living. I haven't seen in 45 years of being a Jet fan, I have not seen a legitimate franchise quarterback. Maybe a couple of years of Vinny, the Sanchez era, but
how smoke and mirrors was that?
Nothing like what I'm about to see in September.
You do have a guy that can sling it all over the field.
Aaron.
But I mean, his list of demands
Rodgers.
and all this crap that he wants, man. Like,
give it to him.
How are you going to get all that?
He's a dime chick, okay? You know what you do with dime girls? You giving them all what they want.
Get in while you can.
Give them all they want.
Right. You know, you enjoy the ride. You know it's not going to be long, but you just enjoy it.
I don't care.
I know.
Bro,
I've been with hot girls. I know. You're on the clock.
When she's a dime?
Yeah.
Exactly. You're on the clock, baby.
But
F them picks.
This is the year. So it looks like the Dolphins are
except
all
for
in.
the 13th pick. I'm not giving you the 13th pick.
It looks like this year the Dolphins are all
in.
The Jets are all in.
Buffalo's all in.
You can't go and get Aaron Rodgers for 1 year, do all what you're doing, and not be all in.
There's at least 11 teams in the AFC that I think that are all in. All right?
God, dog.
I think the whole AFC East is all in, except for maybe New England. All right? So let's just say 3. I don't know what the Baltimore situation is going to be. Cincinnati's all in. Cleveland will be all in.
Baltimore's obviously not all in.
I don't know what the situation Baltimore.
What
and Pittsburgh is all in. Okay?
If I were a Baltimore Ravens fan, I'd be fuming.
AFC South, we already know the only team that's all in is Jacksonville. And then the whole AFC West is all in. Even with the moves that the Raiders are doing, they're all in. Everybody's 11 out of the 15 teams or the 16 teams are all in the NFC.
You got to.
In the AFC.
You got to.
And you have to. You have great talent around you. You have good quarterback. Let's keep it a buck down here, okay? Tua is a very good NFL quarterback.
When he's healthy.
When he's upright.
Yep. True. That's
and
facts.
He's thinking clearly.
That's facts.
Okay? So if you can continue leaving him upright, Dolphins have a very good chance of making the playoffs and contending.
I mean, if Tua Tagovailoa plays every game this year and is healthy, the Dolphins have a chance to win the AFC East.
I mean, we going to be real? So weren't they talking MVP when he was playing well when they were 8-3?
Exactly.
Okay, so he had a couple of bad games, then he got hurt. If he can clean that up, because we're not only talking about the injuries last season. He started sputtering towards the end of the season. So his play started to get...
his head was a little messed up.
No, this was before the head was messed up.
We don't know that.
No. You know what I mean? You lost to the Chargers on the road. You lost to the Niners. You got your ass kicked by the Niners. Okay. And then the Buffalo game, I think he played very well in the Buffalo game. And that's why I can understand that Dolphin fans, why you're frustrated and excited and frustrated at the same time. Because the team that everybody thinks is like the team in the AFC East, let's keep it real. I know we're gonna play let's keep it a but Buffalo, they ain't all that.
No. You know how I feel about I like Josh Allen as a player, as a person. I think on the big stage, he shrinks.
But they're not all that.
No,
you know what? And I've seen
Hell no.
Miami played them very well for the last 2 seasons, and they played them well 3 times last year. It should have won each game.
Yes.
Let's keep it a buck.
Keep it a buck.
They should have won
all 3 games.
They should have won all 3 games.
Even with backup quarterback.
Even with a third string backup quarterback.
And we're not getting into Skylar Thompson right now. But he's a third string quarterback. I know we got to keep him. He's going to be the next big thing. He's a third string quarterback. You bring in Mike White. You've proven he's a third string quarterback. He's a good third string quarterback, but he's a third string quarterback. So
Mike White's a good backup.
Mike White's a good back. Great backup.
Mike White's a good backup.
Great backup. You got it for cheap. Look, you're doing all the things right. If Tua goes out, please don't go out, Tua. Please don't go out. You got Mike White. He can fill the void for a little while. He can plug the leaks. We'll see.
And I know I take shots at him, but I got to give him credit.
Uh-oh.
Hey, man, I'm real. I keep it up,
Go with it now.
Chris Greer, man.
Yeah. Hey, look, Chris Greer, from being just scathingly hated, has really kind of come around, and people are saying,
he's like, oh, y'all think I'm gonna put up my big boy pants, and y'all gonna see how I let it hang.
He's getting interesting draft picks, but who doesn't miss on some draft
But he's
picks?
letting you know how he lets it hang, because he's basically saying he's showing the commitment to Tua, and he's gotten the players. It's not like no average players. He's getting all pros. He's getting former champions. He's getting guys still in their prime.
Yeah.
He's putting the talent on both sides. No, not even on all 3 sides. He's getting the right players. So now it's on the coaching staff and the players. Can't knock CG. Can't knock him.
Man, the only thing I worry about with the Dolphins is the main thing. And you know what I'm probably going to say? One word and one word only with the Dolphins this coming season. One thing worries me. Do you know what that word is?
What's the word?
Health.
Well, that's everybody.
I know, but still, man, the potential, so high. Just stay healthy for the most part. Stay healthy. Everybody, stay healthy. Coming up next, we're going to get to what I liked here on Sports Day 560 WQAM.
Listen to WQAM for Cat Talk.
know it. It is time for my cousin, Vladmir Louison, and myself to run back some of the stuff we like, not just in the sports world, but just in the world in general over the past 24 hours. Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day. Being a good Irish American, I was hammered. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, it's just you wake up if you're Irish on St. Patrick's Day, and it's just your blood is flowing like nothing else. So I went down to my neighborhood dive bars. I went to Bob's Your Uncle. I went to On the Rocks in North Beach. I even went to the Sandbar in North Beach because they had free corned beef and cabbage. Had to get some of that. Got from my dude Giuseppe and Nathan. Got some of that. Then I kind of ran around the design district and just being Irish. But it is weird, man. When you are Irish and it's St. Patrick's Day, you just feel it, man. You just feel it. And I was feeling it yesterday, and I definitely liked that. But there are some other things that I like that happen over the sports world and the world in general. One, Norchad Omier. We call him baby food because whenever he's got a mismatch, he just yells out, baby food, feed me, baby food. Norchad, kind of like Willis Reed. You've seen it, Vlad. You're a New York guy. Remember Willis Reed came out? He had the ankle injury.
Right. First of all, let's slow roll, okay? Let's slow. Let's stop right now. All right. Let's stop. First of all, that was in the 70s. Okay. Technicolor wasn't even bare. Technicolor just started. Okay.
Willis Reed coming out of the shadows of Madison Square Garden.
That was 50 years ago, and that was the NBA Finals Game 7. This is the first round. Come on, man.
You can average 50 points all you want, but the Louisiana guy, Willis Reed, for the Knicks, coming out of the shadows with a bad ankle, inspiring.
Who from
his
Drake
team.
Is Wilt Chamberlain?
Huh?
Who from Drake is Jerry West?
I don't know. They have some guy that averaged like 20 points.
Okay, they don't even have Aubrey Drake. Stop.
Okay, nonetheless, Norchad Omier inspiring the Hurricanes and getting some early points.
And right, left side, there's a hard hedge. Miami traps him. Poking, jabbing. Omier steers the ball away. Flips it to Poplar. Drives in, and he missed the slam dunk. Tapped up and in by Omier. Miami trapped. And right, got the steal. Missed the slam dunk, but Omier on the second bite of the cherry puts it in.
I had the confidence all game. I don't care if we were losing at halftime. I had that feeling. And then you end on that huge run. That's what I'm talking about.
That was a lot of tight asses, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. There was a lot of guys texting me, a lot of Cage fans texting me like, oh, man. Whoo. And then after the win, when they saw everybody else started losing, like Purdue and everything, they were like, oh, maybe the Elite Eight, maybe Final Four now. But a lot of tight sphincters, man. A lot of tight sphincters.
There's something else that you liked last night. No, I know you, Vlad, and you're proud.
Oh, man.
You're caping up right now. What did you like?
Those Owls
Woo!
from Boca.
Woo! Woo!
The FAU Owls.
Woo!
In a great game against the Memphis Grizzlies.
The
Memphis Tigers. All right.
Those suck. Get out of here.
Against the Memphis Tigers.
Formerly Memphis State Tigers.
Formerly Memphis State Tigers. When Anthony Hardaway was the player, not the coach. But he's the coach now. And in a thriller, down to the end, here's the final call of FAU Memphis.
10 seconds to shoot. Got to get the right guy shooting the ball, and that's not the right guy. McCadden, short. The tip is good. You're a foul, guys. Oh, they turned it over. Davis with 9 seconds. He tripped to the ground. A scramble. Memphis has it. And they call a tie-up, and the arrow favors the Owls. Here's Boyd. 5 seconds left. Boyd drives, scores with 2.5. Lomax at midcourt. McCadden off, and the Owls win it.
Frantic into that game. And like Plaxico Burress said, that last shot with 2.5 left was like taking candy from a baby.
I loved it.
Wide open, easy basket. Just got to make it. And he made it. Whoo, FAU. And now, don't look now, but who's got the easiest second round matchup in all of the NCAA tournament? Don't play with me. Don't play with me.
Stop. Because it's a 16 seed. But you think Purdue said the same thing? And speaking of Purdue and that 16 seed, man, a lot of brackets were busted, destroyed, torn, ripped, shredded, eviscerated.
Yeah.
When Fairleigh Dickinson, not even Dickerson, Dickinson.
Fairleigh Dickinson.
No.
Fairleigh
They fairly
Dickinson.
Dickinson
Fairleigh.
boiled Purdue.
The lob, and that will do it. Do you believe it? For just the second time ever, a 16 beats a 1.
I gotta ask you, what's the deal with Purdue and Arizona? Purdue,
Thank God they take Arizona.
I mean, Purdue never makes a run. They've never even been to the Final Four. You know that with Gene Katie and all those years in their illustrious.
No, they lost in the Elite Eight to
they lost to Wisconsin.
Grant Hill. No, and to Duke.
They lost to Wisconsin when I was at Wisconsin my freshman year. They got to the Elite Eight.
You went to Wisconsin?
Yeah,
Oh, no
University
wonder
of
you know how to drink.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's where I learned.
Party
New Orleans and Wisconsin, man.
That's
But yeah, they never made it to the Final Four in their illustrious history.
Wow, Big Dog never took
Big
them.
Dog got to the Elite Eight and lost. He led the country in scoring. Nope.
And I think they had one other good year that
They had another year they were a number 1 seed and almost lost to a 16 seed. They hit a last-second shot. I remember these years ago. And Purdue, and then Arizona. I actually had Arizona going to the Final Four. Whew, Arizona, if they can get out of the first round, they're good. But oh my goodness, Princeton putting it on Arizona the other day. That busted my bracket a little bit. So I have all 2 seeds advancing. And like I was saying, I don't have this, I got to pick this guy or I got to pick a 12 seed. I just go game by game and pick who I think is going to win. I had all the 2 seeds advancing to the Final Four.
I had all the 5s beating the 12s.
Oh, really?
Because
that
I'm
wasn't
like,
a bad idea.
No, because everybody's always the games that
The
everybody's
sleeper.
always picking. Yeah, they picking for the upset. So that's why they were all on Drake, thinking that they were going to beat UM. And I was like, no.
You know why I knew Miami was going to win? Because of one coach, Larinaga.
Coach L.
That
giving
man.
L's.
That man right there.
Coach L gives L's.
That man right there. One more thing that I liked. Well,
What'd you like?
I'm a college baseball fan. And I love the ladies.
So you're a women's college baseball fan.
No. I love college baseball. I love lady sports. But I really love it when they come together.
And we are about to witness history here, folks, this afternoon, as Olivia Pichardo is going to make her first career at-bat. First ever female player to play Division I baseball. And now, here we go. Olivia Pichardo, the freshman from the Queens, New York, making her first career at-bat. It's left-handed, played for USA Baseball national team, the women's team in the summer 22. And she grounds one to first base, scooped up there by the first baseman and on to tag the bag for the out. But a sharply hit ball there by Pichardo in her first collegiate.
So there you go. History made Olivia Pichardo the first woman to play Division I baseball. She did so for Brown University. They were playing Bryant. Never mind that Bryant was up 10-1 and she got in. She doesn't take a pitch.
Damn, that's a battle of smart people.
Yeah, it's
That's a
cool.
smart college.
But like Olivia, take a pitch. She's up there swinging, hacking, man.
Nah, man.
You
doesn't
wouldn't
know.
take a pitch?
Hells no. I'm going.
Savor the
swinging.
moment. Give me a pitch.
I'm Mighty Casey in that thing, man. I'm trying to hit that one out the
Aggressive
yard.
as hell, man. I mean, she hit it on a line, but it was to the first baseman. But nonetheless, you're not taking a pitch?
Nah.
Okay.
I'm trying to swing at everything.
Swinging, man. Okay, so I like that little piece of history right there. Olivia Pichardo right there for Brown University. They were getting beat by
No,
Brown.
Sergey. She doesn't know me, but shout out to her. She is from Queens. Shout out
Queens,
to
New
the
York.
Queen. Shout out to the Queen from Queens.
I do like Sergey. He texts in, Wisconsin cheerleaders aren't allowed on the field. The grounds crew don't want them grazing. Usually I'd say, man, that's tough. But when I was at Wisconsin, there was not a lot of bad ones there, man. There was not.
Oh, no baddies?
Big stock. Big stock.
That's good though. There's some cold winters, bro.
It's cold. You need that. You need that.
You need that
stock.
warmth.
Yeah, I know.
You need that warmth.
I'm telling you, man. You go from Wisconsin to LSU. Different world,
it's a different
man.
animal.
Different world,
It's a different
man.
animal. You're going from a badger to a tiger.
Yeah. Wisconsin was. I can't hate on Sergey right there. I have to agree with them. The ladies at Wisconsin, not too many of them were great. Not too many. Now, didn't say.
But it's a great party school.
Oh, it's a great. What a college town. What a great school. What a great atmosphere. It's crazy. It's wild. That's where I learned to do a lot of my damage, at least when it comes to the weekends.
So you're not really taking one for the team out there. If you're doing it, you're just doing it because you just want to do it.
You got to.
It's just
part of the curriculum. That's how we do it. Okay. Speaking of how we do it, we're going to get you caught up with everything happening in the sports world and a whole lot more. My cousin Vladmir Lewison. I am Dan Day. This is Sports Day on 560 WQAM. Get you ready for the Miami Heat game. They are going to be playing tonight in Chicago. Alejandro Solano, our dude, going to be stopping by in just a little while. He's going to have pre-heat for you at 6:45. Tommy Tighe also supposed to be stopping by very soon. He is going to be on the broadcast for tonight. And then tomorrow, due to the Hurricanes game here on 560 WQAM against Indiana, the Heat game is going to be moved to our sister station, Power 96. So you're going to get your Rihanna, you're going to get your Drake, then you're going to get Tommy Tighe and the Miami Heat tomorrow night on Power 96. Of course, once again, we have the Miami Hurricanes taking care of business tomorrow night right here on 560 WQAM. And like I said, Tommy Tighe going to be stopping by in just a little bit. And we're going to ask him probably first and foremost, now that the Heat are healthy, are they contenders? I don't know what he's going to say. Tommy, there's one thing about Tommy.
Tommy real.
He's real.
Tommy keeps it a buck.
He's not going to play around, bro.
He tells you 100 like, nah.
He tells you. He'll let us know. So we're going to have him in just a little bit. But right now, let's run back a little bit of the sports week that happened here in South Florida.
And away we go, and O'Meara wins the opening tip.
Miami-Dade's north right here at Amway Center.
Cause girls is players too.
As this one getting underway, the biggest difference about playing on a baseball field as opposed to even a tight soccer pitch. You're talking about differences in turf, sometimes back when you were playing, even infield dirt, let alone the dimensions.
Penthouse suites looking down on the ops. Took her for a test drive, left them on the lot.
Welcome inside FLA Live Arena. It's the Panthers and the Jets.
Miami Heat in the traditional home white, jet black with fluorescent yellow on the chest and back of the Utah Jazz.
Catch another fight. The apple bottom make them wanna bite.
Welcome inside FLA Live Arena here in Sunrise. Panthers and the Montreal Canadiens.
Hold up. If you don't know, now you know. If you broke, then you gotta let him go.
So with the Heat in the championship red and a blue that doesn't look anything like my suit tonight, it's time to ball, y'all. The Heat is on the radio.
Hack for the lead. In the air. Got it! Two-pointer. Hack puts Miami in front with 1 minute to go.
Jimmy with a look. Pump fake. Leans in for three. Got it! Got it! Got it!
Gives to Kachuk right circle, a shot, and he scores! Matthew Kachuk out of the right circle, and the Panthers take a 9-4 lead.
Five-star food, that tastes so delicious.
And the final whistle brings a frantic close in the Bronx. And NYC pockets a win, even though they could not put the ball past Drake Callender. 1-0 on the own goal against McVay in the first half. Inter Miami, a gutsy effort they should be proud of.
Front tipped in, they score. Recovering a loose puck in front was Shifley, and he wins it for the Jets in overtime, 5-4 the final.
Cause girls is players too.
Good win by Orlando, 126-114 in overtime.
And the horn sounds, the Panthers take it tonight, 9-5.
This one belongs to the Heat, 119 to 115, led by the 24 points of Jimmy Butler. Oh, they're playing the music early, but it is winning time. This one belongs to the Heat, 138-119, taking care of business.
What you know about living on the top?
And the Hurricanes go on a 16-1 run, and Miami goes to round 2 of the NCAA tournament in incredible dramatic fashion. Miami 63, Drake 56. That's your final score in Albany. What a change of events.
Apple bottom make them wanna bite.
Woo, 16-1 run. That's how you win some NCAA basketball games right there. Let's get to the headlines. Behind a strong second half, which you just heard, the Canes men's basketball team defeated Drake 63-56. They face the 4-seed Indiana tomorrow at 8:40. The ladies team, they were losing earlier to Oklahoma State. Let's see what's going on with Miami Hurricanes ladies. I'm not feeling good about this. And oh no, wait a second. They're up by 1 with 6 seconds left, 62-61. Holy goodness. Look at that. They had a 20-7 third quarter. Hurricanes showing up. That's what I'm talking about. So, okay. I'm feeling good about things now. I probably shouldn't say that because it goes out, but we'll keep an eye on that as the minutes and seconds progress. Former All-Pro Patriots punter Jake Bailey has signed with the Dolphins. Yesterday, Miami further bolstered their special teams by inking former Canes returner Braxton Berrios. Of course, much love for Braxton Berrios here. He's no longer a Jet, but the Jets seem like they are trying to figure out their quarterback situation, and it's only a matter of time. So sometime this week,
you just like,
when's it official?
Just like
I need this official.
I see this. I know we're cousins, but I know we cousins. But I know. Wait, you just trying to just piss me off?
I want it official.
We have a quarterback. Stop playing with me.
You got to be official though.
Stop playing with me.
It don't count.
Stop playing with me. Stop.
No, you're going to get him. I mean,
we have him.
But when is it going to be official?
It don't matter.
Okay.
She said, I intend to play with the Jets. She said that. All right. When she said, and I'm not referring to Aaron as a female, but what I'm saying is when in a relationship, when a woman makes a decision, she chose.
Mm-hmm.
So when the quarterback makes a decision, he chose. And he will be wearing green, but it's not from the Packers.
I know that.
Pause. It's going to be from the Jets.
Miami Hurricanes ladies basketball team, they defeat Oklahoma State 62-61. They will play the number 1 seeded Indiana. Miami's playing Indiana in the men's and the women's, so they're going to take them on Monday. So Miami, Indiana.
I think we won.
Yeah, they
Canes
did.
won.
62-61.
Nice.
62-61. There you go. Katie Meyer representing. Love it. The Heat, they're in Chicago tonight. They're going to face the Bulls. Tip is at 8 o'clock, 6:45. Pregame with our dude, Alejandro Solana. Tommy Tighe supposed to be stopping by. He's actually right out there. We're going to have him in just a minute. We're going to be talking about the Heat, and we're going to be getting that going. But a few more headlines. The Marlins, 1-5 in their last 6 spring training games, playing the Nationals today. Hopefully they don't get murdered. Lionel Messi's father and agent, George, denied rumors that his son has left PSG and is asking for 600 million euros from Saudi Arabia's Al Hilal. But he did not rule out Messi playing for Inter Miami. Of course,
Stop.
They both make their home here in South Florida. I'm just saying.
Stop. I'm sick and tired of it. By the way,
I don't think it's happening. I don't
let
care.
me interrupt
I
you.
don't want it.
Haley Cavender's on. Haley Cavender's on.
Oh, wait a second.
Haley Cavender's on.
Those twins. I love them. They're balling, by the way, too. Knocking down threes.
She led them to the victory. Look at that left layup.
Drive.
Lefty scoop layup.
Silky smooth right there. All right. Nonetheless, Inter Miami, they take on Toronto FC tonight.
They're going to win.
At 7:30. I got them winning.
I'm producing the game tonight.
I believe that we will win.
They better win.
After hanging 9 on the Canadiens on Thursday, the Panthers, they play the Devils tonight at 6. I'm believing in the Panthers right now. Remember, we called out Paul Maurice and said, the jury's about to go into deliberation. You need to make your final statement. He's making a little bit of a statement right now. I'm seeing Paul Maurice and those guys.
He's definitely making a final statement, but we'll see. We shall see. They still, how many games left? 14?
Just keep winning. Keep getting points.
They just 3 points behind Pittsburgh and the Islanders, and they have 2 games to make up. The Islanders played 70. The Panthers have only played 68.
Some games in hand. Speaking of, it's going to be hype at Lone Depot Park later today. World Baseball Classic USA, Venezuela, 7 o'clock. Bring it. Winner gets to face Cuba in the semifinals tomorrow. This is win or go home. So let's go USA all the way. The Canes baseball team, they walked off 17th ranked Virginia Tech last night 4-3. They play a double header. They're playing right now, and then at 6 o'clock. FAU hit a last-second layup to down Memphis in the NCAA tournament. They will play 16 seed Fairleigh Dickinson tomorrow at 7:45. Just another great reason to watch sports and pay attention to sports here in South Florida. If you're a tennis fan, you're not getting Novak Djokovic. He's been denied a COVID-19 vaccine exemption from the United States and will not be a part of the Miami Open, which begins next week. We're going to dive into that a little later, but right now, let's dive in to the day spa. An 82-year-old woman suited up and became the oldest known woman in the world to play organized hockey. Ooh.
Who body checked
I'm telling you, Granny going to check your ass, man. You better be careful. Paul Maurice, if you're listening, check her out, maybe.
Oh my God.
Maybe a little.
Could you
help,
imagine somebody hit her?
A little playoff push.
Her dentures came out.
She's a young 82, though, to be honest with you.
A young 82.
Imagine if you get checked by Granny. What do you do? Just,
you don't move.
What if she drops her gloves? What do you do then?
Smack her.
No,
I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
That is what I'm talking about. Happy endings for everyone. Speaking of happy, we got Tommy Tighe. He's going to be coming in, and he's going to be telling us about the Miami Heat and what their future might look like now that everybody's healthy. That is next on Sports Day 560 WQAM.
Hey, want to see the ugly mugs that go along with our melodious voices? Do I?
All right, Tommy. What time's the vigil? Where are you going? It's bad for my I went to that one that's like the big cross. Yeah. I think I went, yeah, March. That's the Pope visited there. So, no post game, yeah. So you're gonna have a post game. So mine's not. Mine's the under spots.
No, I heard, the first thing I heard was everything was still a go.
Yeah, no, we're good. Oh yeah. So, Jean-Paul, appreciate you. See you in a little while too.
What's going on downstairs?
I don't know.
Oh,
There's a lot of people.
yeah, like 15 of them down there setting up for something. I didn't ask what, and I said, "Oh God, what time's it starting?" Yeah, that's what I'm wondering about. Yeah, we'll get back.
Mute your mic.
Say what?
Mute the mic. They can hear us.
I thought I muted you. I did mute you.
No.
.560 WQAM. It is Sports Day. We're leading you into the Miami Heat and Chicago Bulls. 6:45 going to be pre-heat with Alejandro Solana. About 45 minutes later, 7:30, Tommy Tighe going to be taking over for the pre-game. And right now, we're joined by Tommy Tighe. Tommy, you aren't just a Heat guy. You are a veteran in the broadcasting game. Give us a little background for the people that maybe don't know you as well as we do.
My entire career, you want in 15 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, maybe like 2 minutes, but go ahead.
2 minutes. Well, I started out at Sports Phone. I saw an article in a paper that's no longer with us in the New York area that needed somebody to do something like that, like you'd find at a local station. And I went in there and they let me cover the New Jersey Nets. And the first game I went to, I got yelled at by Bill Fitch, which was a wonderful start to your career. Everybody thinks that Eric Spoelstra and some of the coaches around here are really difficult to deal with. Wait till you deal with the old school guys back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Some of them are a lot tougher than what you're seeing today. But to be honest with you, Dan, after that, I got hired by WCBS to cover teams in the New York area.
Man.
And then the network hired me, and then it went on from there to bigger and better things, thankfully. College football first. First college football game I did was Florida versus Nebraska for the national championship.
Wow.
Because the guy got snowed in, couldn't make it. So that's how I ended up on the air. That's how it happens so many times. You get breaks like that. You're very fortunate. And luckily, I was in the right place at the right time, like a lot of people have been.
And you've seen a lot of crazy things. What's one or two of the things that stand out over your career that, you just pop in your mind when you think of craziness that you've seen in the sports world and journalism?
My favorite game of all time is the Pine Tar game. Not many people remember it from outside the New York area, but there's always this classic tape that George Brett homers in the top of the ninth inning to beat the Yankees. And as he's running around the bases, he gets to home plate, and the Yankees are carrying his bat over to the Yankee dugout to show the umpire what exactly happened, that there's too much pine tar on the bat. Umpire rules that he's out. So they take the win away from the Royals, and he goes absolutely nuts. Well, I never saw Brett running there because the first thing I did was run as fast as I could to the elevator to make sure I got downstairs to be in position to be near him in the Royal Room, whatever the heck happened. So who do I get in the elevator with? I'm by myself. I said, what are we wasting our time for here? Well, four guys come walking in. One guy who couldn't have been more than 5'8" buries his head and comes walking in my area. I think, who the heck is this? I glance over to my left. It happens to be Richard Nixon.
Whoa.
So the next thing I know is, well, what do you possibly say? Are you allowed to look at him? There's only 6 people in the elevator. I'm one of them, 4 of his big goons and him. So I look over. It just happened to glance because I figure I've got to do this. And he looks at me and he smiles. He says, young fella, you ever seen anything like that before? I could have asked him a million things about what it was like running the country from the 60s to the 70s. And there I am figuring, well, what witty thing could I possibly come up with for Tricky Dick Nixon? Let's make one thing perfectly clear there, Mr. Nixon. No, I just said, no, Mr. President, I've never seen anything like that. That's about it. And I don't think I ever will. That's probably the craziest thing I could ever think of.
Man, that is an amazing story. So you didn't see George Brett go like a madman and running out the dugout and just... He had fire in his eyes, and he was just nuts.
The next time I saw George Brett was in the locker room afterwards. And the first thing that the Royals guy said was, George is going to do it. He's going to talk to everybody, but he's going to wait 15 minutes. Everybody raced down to talk to Billy Martin and everybody in the Yankees to get that side of the story. I said, I'm going to wait it out. I mean, I'm not nuts. There's one story here.
Yeah.
Guy hits home run, goes crazy. You got to go talk to him. So I'm standing there waiting with 2 other guys from Kansas City Papers. PR guy looks out the door. All right, George is ready now. Okay, fine. 3 of us got him that day.
Wow.
That was it, because once he saw the horde coming back, the New York media and the national media that was covering the game ran away. Just snuck around back into the shower area, and that was it. Did he say anything? No, absolutely not. No, he went crazy after the game and said absolutely nothing for 10 minutes before you fellas got there.
Wow, what a great story right there. And of course, you won a championship with the Miami Heat as part of the broadcast team. 2. Oh, I've only seen the 1 ring, so I was...
No, this is my wedding ring. I don't ever wear those things.
Nah, he doesn't do that. He doesn't do that.
I don't do that. No, never do.
Tommy
because I
doesn't
never wore jewelry before. The only thing I had was like a $6 watch like I have right now, with Mickey on one side and Donald on the other. So that's the way, just to figure out what time it is, because I'm not lucky enough to be walking around with a clock. And I'm not, I'm so old school. I don't look at my phone. I don't think of anything along those lines. So what I always end up doing is I've always had a watch. Until I got married, that's the other piece of jewelry I have. Every once in a while, somebody will say to me at a Heat function, why don't you bring out the ring? Okay, fine. Why not? And I stick it on my right hand, and I have it, every once in a while, but that's about it. It's just safe right now.
This year's Heat team, everyone getting really excited. They're saying, now we're healthy. When we've even got Omer Yurtseven, Kyle Lowry's coming off the bench. Is this a team going forward we could say could compete to win the East?
Well, I'd like to think so based on what you saw last year. But to be honest with you, if they continue to play inconsistent over the course of time, it's going to be very difficult, especially the way that Boston, Milwaukee, and Philly have played the entire season. I myself would love a 4-5 series just to warm them up if they can finally start playing their type of ball, which I think they are, Dan. Offensively now, they're much better from the All-Star break onto this point, whether it's health or it's just they're getting their game back together. I don't know which one it is just now, but this is a big weekend series, even though you look at the teams and figure out who they are. And after that, you got the Knicks and the Nets coming in. So this is a key point of the season, I think, for them to even think about getting into the postseason. And once you get there, you like to say, well, you think that maybe you could do it just like everybody else starts out 0-0. I'm not quite so sure, but if they're playing well going in, I give them a shot to be competitive. Now, whether they can beat all of those teams, if they get lucky enough, like last year, Milwaukee played Boston. I thought Milwaukee would be the toughest out for them. They got past them. Philly didn't have Embiid. They ended up with Boston in the 7th game. If you can get that fortunate, then I'll say, okay, fine. At the moment, though, I got to see them play more consistent basketball.
Yeah, that's kind of been the thing. They take 2 steps forward, 1 step back, more like 1 step forward, 1 step back. The record kind of shows that. Do you buy into this? Some people in Heat Nation are saying, well, we're built for the playoffs. Wait till we get to the playoffs. I don't know if I totally believe in the built for the playoffs type team.
Well, I think that goes back to the bubble, because in the bubble, they felt they were built for something like this. And a lot of the same players, Jimmy Butler, UD, a lot of the guys, Bam Adebayo, were there before. And I think they liked the idea of that, with everybody hating them, they feel, being overlooked by a lot of clubs, that they beat the Bucks and then they beat the Celtics. And ever since then, they felt that way. But it didn't work in 2021. It almost did in 2022. You can feel that way. If that's your rallying cry and you think that's what you need to get you over the top, I'm okay with them thinking that way. I think they do believe, because of the experience they've picked up in the past, they can be competitive in the postseason, given the chance of getting there with the right matchup. But if they want to say anything, go ahead. If it gets you motivated, whatever it is, being overlooked or however they take it, I think that's the best way to look at it.
Now let's transition to the Western Conference. On paper, I think the Phoenix Suns are the team to beat. Do you think that experiment is going to work, or is it going to just kind of like the Brooklyn Nets did? Just kind of.
That's a valid point, because, first you got to get Kevin on the floor.
Right.
If Kevin Durant slips and falls down again and we're in this first round of the playoffs, who's to say what it does? Chris Paul, how many times has he won in the playoffs? Right. Okay. Then you look at Ayton. Okay, he's fine. He's a nice player. And I look at some of their guys, and I think that's a nice club. Are they the best team in the West right now? They've got to show me enough when Durant's in the lineup with them. He's in there. They can be electric. There's no question in anybody's mind. You saw it when they were beating up those teams. With him and Booker in the lineup together, being the way that they were for that 3-game period where they were beating teams by 39 points a game, yeah, they're the best team in the West if they can get together and play like that. As of right now, I see Denver, they've slid a little bit over the last couple of weeks. Memphis, with the problems they're having with Morant. You can go on and on. I mean, New Orleans, I know how much you enjoy them, but if you can never get Zion on the court, then maybe they'd be competitive as well. Dallas, who knows if that experiment's ever going to work. I think there's enough teams that can compete in the West. I think Phoenix is right there if they have the right players in there. But as of right now, I still think there's just 3 or 4 different teams. I don't know about Sacramento, but I think there's at least 3 or 4 different teams that I think can be competitive and maybe surprise somebody in the West Finals.
Tommy, let me ask you this. Is this the most parity you've ever seen in the league right now? Because like you just said, the Western Conference seems like 9 teams in the West really could come out there.
Vlad, I think that's valid when you look at the West, because like we were just saying, Dan likes Sacramento. I think there's a lot of people that pick a team and say, I like them because. If Denver has their guys healthy, I like them. If I have this team, I like them. If Kyrie comes together with Luka, I like them. I think the parity is there because you're seeing signs from 3 all the way down to 13 or 14 that could be really competitive when they get to the playoffs. You might have 3 or 4 teams that are very good, at least the way the NBA is stacked today, that may not make it into the playoffs because they'll be stuck outside in the play-in situation. Look at Golden State. Who knows what to expect out of them?
But they can't play on the road.
Yeah, I understand that. We'll find that out again when they lose their 11th in a row tonight. But that's the fun thing about it, that they have so many guys. But with the East, I don't know about that.
It's a 3-team race, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think the Heat or Cleveland can compete with those clubs given the right situation, who they match up with. I think the Heat would be great with Cleveland in a series. I think they'd be really good with Philly. Boston, Milwaukee, they kind of scare me, especially Milwaukee. I don't think they match up that well, unless, of course, you're going to put those old Heat guys in the game, Leonard, Dragic, and Crowder. Then maybe they'll have a shot. But as of right now, I think there's the big 3 and then the little 6 at this point in the East, unless one of those teams gets hot. And I do think Miami and Cleveland have the capability that they can get hot.
To go back, to piggyback what you said, I think Milwaukee's the best team in the league, but better than anybody right now.
Could be.
But I think Miami.
But are they better than they were in 2021? That's the factor that I have to have.
I don't think
I don't think Boston was that good in 2021, and I know the Heat was not that good in 2021. So if they get in a position with those guys, is Milwaukee that good to take it over the top, over the way Philly's playing right now, winning 7 in a row, or the same with Boston?
But that's what I think Miami matches up very well against Boston and Philadelphia
in a 7-game series.
In a 7-game, I really do.
They can be.
Because here's the one thing I always think Miami has over everybody: they got the best coach in the game.
I can't argue with you there. You're never going to get me to say anything bad about him. There's no question. You got Missoula. I can't say much about him because he hasn't coached that much.
Right.
So, okay, the jury's on him. Do I give a guy who's going to have 700 wins by the end of the weekend, hopefully, against somebody who's got, 54? You're looking at apples and oranges when you're trying to look at those two situations. Philadelphia, Doc Rivers has won over 1,000 games. I think he knows what he's doing coaching a team, and he's got them playing well. I don't think they have the same personnel, even though they're right there with Milwaukee or Boston. And Milwaukee, they speak for themselves. Championship pedigree. They've got a lot of guys who know what to do. I agree with you to a point that I think that they are at the moment the best team. But it depends. Like I said to Dan, it's matchups.
It's at the moment too. Also, Giannis twists an ankle, and all of a sudden, everybody wants to play the Bucks. They're not as good. You got Drew Holiday, who's a great player, maybe underrated. The same with Chris Middleton, who's kind of.
Yeah, but look at what happened, Dan, when they played in Miami.
Exactly.
No Giannis in the lineup, even as good as Drew Holiday was in those two games. He's the reason why they are going to be where they are.
And we had the argument last week. I want you to help kind of weigh in on this. It's pretty much a two-man race for the MVP. You got Jokic and Embiid, and Vlad and I both agree that we'd like to see Embiid win it. I think he's deserving of it. I would be happy with a co-MVP. Who do you think is going to win this MVP this year?
Who do I think is going to win it? Who do I think should win it? I like Giannis. I think he's the best player, and I think he's elevated his team to the best record. And as Vlad just said, they have the best team. I think he continues to showcase his abilities time and time again. And when he's out of the lineup, where's that team going to fall? Even though they've got good players around him. Embiid, we saw that last year when he was not in the lineup. What exactly did that team look like in the first two games down here in Miami? Same thing with Jokic. If he's out of the lineup, they're in an awful lot of trouble. I just think you look at the numbers time and time again with Jokic. And even though I like Embiid, I think he's a really outstanding player. Jokic is putting this team in first place all season long.
And everything goes through him.
Triple-double, exactly. A triple-double almost every single game he plays. As much as it's hard for me to put him in a position where he's going to win 3 MVPs, I have to give him a slight edge over Embiid and even Giannis.
The only reason I'd say Embiid maybe is because the NBA likes the narrative. Like they wouldn't give to Michael Jordan every year or LeBron James every year. Maybe they're saying, okay, we've given Jokic twice. Let's give Embiid his MVP, which I would have no problem with. I think they're both having great seasons.
No, I don't have a problem with it, but he's gotten them to third place. That's the unfortunate thing. We're talking regular season. They go on to win the championship and Embiid's the most valuable player in the finals. Hey, congratulations to him. He definitely deserves it. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it in the regular season for the way he's played this year. It's just that this guy has put his team in first place. Both of them are in first place right now. Giannis has Milwaukee where they are, and the same thing with Jokic in Denver. If you put those guys out there time and time again, leading their team to that's what it is, I think that's what the most valuable player award is all about, because you can't live without any of the three of them on any of their respective teams.
Good. Yeah, it's they're just so valuable. But I do want to transition a little bit. Are you a Jets fan? Because you're a New York guy. You're a Giants fan?
Yes.
Okay. So you're not excited about Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets?
Well, I'll put it to you this way. I always like what happens in the New York market. When I was working up there, hey, that's great that they would end up doing something like my favorite player of all time in football in the New York area is Joe Namath, because of the way he handled himself. I wish he played for the team that I rooted for. My team back then was going in last place all the time. You had to find something to look at. Am I excited about Aaron Rodgers and the possibilities of him going there? Absolutely, because it does something for the city. Because I still think they'll have a much better team than the Giants if you add personnel. Like they're supposedly talking about, hey, do me a favor, go get me Odell Beckham Jr., go get me Lazard, go get me Cobb, go get me everybody that you possibly can. And Beckham, hey, I think they're going to be, they'd be a story all season long. But as of right now, until it actually happens, I'm going to still wait and see on it.
Tommy, let me ask you this. Because you've had such a great career in this business.
Thank you. I don't know if it's great.
Listen, you're like the voice of like you're part of my generation. You're like part of the voice of my generation. So you worked at Westwood One.
I did.
And
thanks for reminding
me.
Many
Super Bowls. Hey, listen.
Especially on a day like today. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Game 7 of an NBA final or Super Bowl?
It depends on who's in the games. I've covered both.
Right.
I know you're asking me that.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you what. Game 7 with the Heat and the Spurs.
That was 2013.
That was pretty good. That's the only Game 7 that I've actually sat there and been a major part of. Well, I shouldn't even say major, but that I was a part of working with Eric Reed. We were doing the closed circuit broadcast and then doing the usual stuff that I did with Mike and John. I would have to think of that. But getting the opportunity to sit next to Don Shula at the Super Bowl when the Giants beat the Patriots and having Don Shula stick his fingernails into my arm when Brady got sacked by Jay Alford on the first play of that final drive where the Patriots are trying to come back and win the game. I can't explain it, the feeling of that. So after rooting for the Giants for as long as I have. So if I have to look at 1-2, as tough as it is, I have to go that route. I have to say the Super Bowl 1 and Game 7 2.
Speaking of moments in your career, what went through your mind when Ray Allen hit the shot?
Well, again, that's another thing that could be one of the greatest things I've ever witnessed.
Amazing.
Tommy's witnessed a lot of great things, man.
Yeah, the Pine Tar game is still amazing. Still amazing. I mean, how many times can you ever say, yeah, all of a sudden you're standing next to Richard Nixon? It's like, come on, let's be realistic here. To be honest with you, yeah, that was phenomenal. There's no question. The weird thing about that was that, hey, that tied the game. You know, you're thinking to yourself, hey, that's going to win the game. Oh, no, it doesn't. It reminded me a little bit when I was a kid and the Knicks were playing the Lakers in a similar situation in the NBA Finals, but it was only Game 3, and Jerry West came down court and hit a half-court shot. And everybody ran into the locker room. Wilt, Baylor, they all go running into the locker room. Hey, fellas, guess what? You got to go out and play overtime because there's no 2 points. There's no such thing as a 3-point goal. No, you just tied the game. Get back out here. It was a similar type of thing that the Spurs still had the ball again. You had to go 5 more minutes after that. That's what made it incredible, that you had that hey, we got to go back and play some more. We got to actually work a little bit longer here. Phenomenal game, phenomenal atmosphere. I feel sorry for the nice people who decided to leave the building with about 3 minutes to go, who will never say that they were the people out there. Maybe it was a couple of knuckleheads saying, oh, yeah, sure, I was one of those people. But you missed one of the lifetime things. If you decided to leave the building just to get out there and get in your car and get out to 95.
Last question for this week.
Saturday. Oh, there's going to be another week? Okay.
Yeah, no. Last question with this week that he'd have I'm starting from tonight to next Saturday against the Nets.
Yeah.
What do you think their record would be in those 4 games?
3-1.
Where's
like
the possible
that.
loss?
Well, I'm not saying where the loss is coming from. That gives me time to think about that could happen tonight. And knowing this team, it could be the Pistons.
The loss.
You never know. They'll beat the teams that they're, the Bulls, the better teams. Guys scored 88 points last night. They're going to watch out for them. The Pistons are going to show up with 4 guys named, Vlad and Dan. That's
basically.
Unfortunately,
much, yeah.
That's going to be the team that's going to be the toughest to beat. So that's why I'm not going to say I think they're going to go 4-0.
And no play. They will not make the play-in. Maybe they'll get the 6th seed.
I'm not going to say I'm confident about that, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm with Tyler Hero the other night when he was on with Jackson Amy, and he said, I don't see us making it into the play-in game. I think the team feels that way.
Yeah.
I really think they've got the experience to get in big games and do something with them. I think they're looking at these games as big games, especially the Knicks and Nets coming up next week. And then when they play Dallas the week after that and all these other games that they have to win, I think you're looking at Alejandro said the other day 8-4. I would like to think even just a little bit higher, go 9-3. That would pretty much solidify it.
And Heat fans, there's only 4 home games left.
Well, I thought for a second you were going to say there are only 4 Heat fans.
No.
They're right here in the building.
There's only 4 Heat. I believe there's only
the beginning of the game.
Yeah,
4 home games.
I didn't say that.
It's the Knicks, the Nets, the
Magic
on
Easter Sunday,
and
Dallas.
Mavericks. Yes.
Yeah, on April the 1st.
So get the chance to see you guys right now.
You got good games. There's no question about it. I don't know if Luka's going to be back by then. I assume he would be. He and Kyrie get back in the lineup with Tim Hardaway. That game only a week away, 2 weeks away from today. But that's good. I'm not telling anybody, hey, you know what? Even if that game means anything, take your Easter Sunday off and go see the Orlando Magic. I hope it doesn't mean anything. I think they've already solidified 6 by that point, and let's not worry about that. Hopefully UD gets out there. Everybody has a great time on the holiday, but I like these other 3 games. I think the Knicks game is going to be crazy. I think the Nets game, especially if they're tied or a game apart, be even crazier.
All right. I know I said the last question. One more last question.
That's where I'll be back about 6 o'clock, 6:30. Ask me anything then.
UD's lasting impact on this team.
Wow.
From your thoughts.
It's so tough for me, and I'm not getting out of the question because I haven't been there for the entire ride. I would have loved to have been there, but of course, you make more money in network radio. So I really enjoyed my time doing football. But I came on board in 2009-10, and I didn't know him from a hole in the wall except as a player. What a gracious individual, first off. A very intelligent man, knowing exactly what he wants, what he's meant to this city, what he's done, especially in these times that you've seen him out there and around, adding his expertise and what he's able to do for his family and for the people in this city, the ones he grew up with, the ones that he played ball with. You remember his number being retired earlier this year. But what he's done for this team, you're not going to say that he put them on the map, but he helped put them on the map, and he's helped them in this transition period from when it was great, when they went to 4 finals, all the way up to what it is today. And even though they've gotten to the finals one time since then, he's shown the class. He's figured out the culture that we talk about so often with this franchise that hopefully doesn't go away. He wants to stay around the club, not as a player, not as a coach. I hope he does, because he's going to be able to lend something to this organization aside from the fact that his banner is going to be up in the rafters and his number is going to be retired forever. I think he means the world to what this franchise is all about, just like 2 or 3 other guys in this group. But, I don't know where this franchise would have been without Udonis Haslem.
Yeah, look at the Pelicans. If the Pelicans had a guy like Udonis Haslem, they would be in a totally different.
If they had a guy like Udonis Haslem, he'd be playing.
Yeah, they had Zion Williamson to be playing too. But
yeah, that's true.
Tommy, you got Heat Weekly. That is going to be on Saturdays from 10 to noon right here on 560 WQM. You're going to be back in just a little while. You're going to be in the Heat game tonight. Then tomorrow, we've talked about your illustrious career, hanging out with Tricky Dick. And you're going to be right next to Rihanna and Drake and all these other pop stars.
I have never met any of them.
You're going to be on Power 96 tomorrow night because the Heat game is being moved there because of the Miami Hurricanes game. We know you have a very busy schedule, or at least somewhat busy schedule, and we appreciate you spending some time with us. And anytime you want to come by, because you are a raconteur, and just share stories about the crazy life that you have lived, you're always welcome here.
Yeah, well, I'll try to keep them clean. Thanks, Dan.
You
Thank you,
don't have
Vlad.
to. You don't have to.
All right.
That's Tommy Tighe right there. Check him out later on today. Pre-heat, heat, post-heat, all the Heat games that are going to be happening. He is going to be on the... Wouldn't say call, just he is one of the voices of the Heat. I am Dan Day with Vladmir Lewis on. This is Sports Day on 560 WQAM.
Breaking news from AM 560.
This is Sports Day. I am Dan Day, and there's one thing we do on this show. We keep it a buck. We keep it real. And right now, that's what we're going to be doing. Keep it a buck. If you want to keep it a buck, let me know what you want to keep real. 305-567-0560, the number to text. You can also check us out. We are on Twitch and YouTube Live. Just go to 560 WQAM. I'm going to keep it a buck right now. This NCAA tournament has been great, and I have the feeling that both South Florida teams on the men's side are going to advance to the Sweet 16. Keeping it a buck. I like the fact that Miami, no one really gives them a lot of credit for what they got going on. They're better than everyone thinks. They can go and take on Indiana. Indiana's a good team, but they can win. And then FAU gets Fairleigh Dickinson, a 16th seed, who I think they threw all their ammunition in that one game to beat Purdue, and they don't have enough to beat those. Also better than most people think. FAU out. Keeping it a buck. I think we get 2 teams into the Sweet 16.
I think we get three teams in the Sweet 16. I think the ladies team, the women's Canes teams gets in.
Keeping it a buck. They got to beat a number 1 seed Indiana though. That's different.
Well, we're playing Indiana, so I think we sweep Indiana. I'm keeping it a buck. I think we sweep Indiana.
I mean, keeping it a buck. South Florida way better than the state of Indiana.
Come on, man. Yeah, it's KKK out there, man.
I've been to Indiana once. I went to the University of Indiana actually for a basketball camp, Bobby Knight basketball camp back in the day. Not a bad place, but
they teach you how to throw chairs.
You know, a lot of things out there, man. A lot of things going on. A lot of people saying that Indiana Hoosiers men's basketball team a sleeper to win the national championship. I'll sleep on them. I don't see them doing that. They got too many good teams. They got too much going on. I don't even think they get past, like I said, the Canes. So that's keeping it a buck right there.
Keep it a buck. I'm laughing at you, Mets fans.
Uh-oh.
Your closer out for the year celebrating.
Ouch.
I'm laughing.
No Timmy trumpets.
Yeah. I don't have to hear that damn trumpet anymore. Ouch. I'm sorry. What is it? Edwin Diaz? Yeah. Stop selling.
Edwin.
How do you listen? How do baseball play? Let's keep it a buck, man.
I don't know.
How do baseball? Kendrys Morales, Diaz, how do you hurt yourself celebrating? You've never jumped up and down before?
I know. You know, I'm a baseball fan, and I have a lot of friends that aren't baseball fans. They make fun of baseball. And remember a couple of years ago, a guy hit a walk-off, and he got injured when he stomped on home plate, and they were like making fun. I was like, I can't validate that, man. That
was Kendrys Morales.
That was him?
Yeah, he hit a grand slam for the Angels, and then, he's doing his little celebration, and then he jumps on home plates, and then he's out for like a year and a half. No, seriously, he was out like a year and a half.
I know you're not joking. It sounds silly.
It's a silly, like he was that silly celebration injury cost him nearly a year and a half or 2 years. He was never the same player that he was, and he was a good player.
Oh man, yeah, that is nothing I cannot validate that right there. But oh man, we're gonna see.
All right, keeping a buck. All right, day spa people, and
I'm getting excited.
I saw Cocaine Bear.
Ooh, nah, this is what I've been waiting for all day. What you got?
I finally saw Cocaine Bear last night. It is sports day listeners. It's all right. It's good.
Is it what you?
It's exactly what you think it should be.
It's not everywhere, everything all at once.
It's 1980, so you're going back.
A little campy.
Very campy, but it's cool. But it's the cool campy. Like it's cool, and it did a good job of not like staying on the bear, and while he's whacked out, but it gives you the stories of these other characters. It's like it's just a band of characters from different parts of life that are all there trying and have to deal with that bear. And I've never listen, man. That bear can give Artie Lang a run for his money, man. Like that bear was like he was yayed out, man.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh my
bears
God.
Scared me to begin with, but a coked up bear, whoo man.
And this is what made the movie crazy. Like no spoilers. They had kids and cubs doing blow too.
Oh, so it was a party.
Oh, listen, the kids found the package, and one of the kids lying to try to impress the. Why do we lie? Why at a young age do boys lie? So the boy's lying to the little girl, saying like, "Oh yeah, him and his friend do it all the time and everything like that," and they ate it.
Oh,
they took a lot, by the way, and they put it in their mouth, and that was
You're gonna be
And,
numb. You're gonna be numb.
But
if you eat
it was
like that.
funny. It was good. Good job by I believe, who's it? Elizabeth Banks.
Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah, good job by
Bad
Elizabeth
one.
Banks. What's her name? Kerry Russell's in it. The last movie Ray Liotta did. Ray Liotta was Ray Liotta.
Oh yeah.
And O'Shea Jackson, Ice Cube's son's in it.
Oh, he's great.
It
He's
was
great,
good.
by the way.
It was good. Definitely go see it stoned.
Well, yeah, it's got to be the way you're going to see that Cocaine Bear. Definitely not going to go in a clear state of mind. It's not that type of movie, man. Keeping it a buck, inflation's out of control.
Word.
I thought it was just South Florida. Like last night,
You're not keeping a buck if it's inflation, so out of control.
I know it's keeping a couple of bucks right there. I thought, South Florida. I've been running around the Design District, been running around the South Beach, and like last night, I ordered like a $14 glass of wine and an $8 beer, which is actually pretty cheap at a restaurant. Somebody I was with, they ordered like a $20 Tom Collins. And I was like, God, man, Miami's out of control. So I was just on the phone with my best friend, Bo Boudreaux. He's back in Louisiana. And I was telling him that story. And he's like, nah, man, that's everywhere. Even here in Louisiana and New Orleans and stuff. It's ridiculous. It's killing me, man. Killing me. So what I have to do now is I got a pregame before I go out. I go to Jensen's liquor store. They're always asking about you and I, Vlad, whenever we go there. Jensen's liquor store right there on 79th Street in the corner of North Miami. And I go pregame there and drink Crazy Stallion beer for $1.50, 24 ounces. And then I go drink like a Hop Gun like I did last night. And hopefully it gets me by. But man, it's crazy, man. I don't know if there's an answer, if there's a solution. I'm not a politician, but God, keeping it a couple of bucks, man. This inflation's starting to get to me, man.
Oh, Dan, you hurting the pockets?
Nah,
tell your girl stop ordering expensive drinks. What's wrong with you, man?
What's wrong with me?
What's wrong with her?
Trying to have a good time.
I mean, she's killing your pockets, B.
I know, man. But what are you gonna do, man? You get caught up in the moment,
Well, as long as you get caught up in many moments.
Yep,
all right, well then good. As long as you have a Kodak moment, you're good.
Oh man, keeping it a buck. Everyone's saying, "Oh, watch out for the Duke Blue Devils. They're getting beat 55-48 with about 5 minutes left in the game. Tennessee taking care of them. Keeping it a buck. This Duke team was never really that good.
I didn't like him, but I had them in my. I'm saying I didn't like him yet. I had them in my Final Four.
Your actions speak louder than your words.
You know what I mean? But yeah, good job by Tennessee.
I don't see Tennessee. I'll keep it a buck. I don't see Tennessee losing this game. Kiss of death right there.
There's still 4 minutes and 49 seconds, and they're Duke. The officials, they still got
some calls.
Yeah,
keeping it a buck. They'll get some calls here and there.
They'll get some calls. They'll get some calls before the 4 minute timeout, the under 4 timeout.
Keeping it a buck. I like the Miami Heat tonight. I think they're going to beat the Chicago Bulls in Chicago.
They should. Chicago has really tempered off towards the second half of the season. And the Heat need to win these games. They're favored by, I believe, 2.5 or 3.
Yeah.
So, this is a winnable. These next 2 road games should be winnable. And then you take a loss against the Knicks on Wednesday, and then you beat Brooklyn on Saturday.
You had to go there, didn't you?
Yeah.
I had to go there. I do want to, you got to keep it a buck right now, Vlad. You like Inter Miami tonight when they take on Toronto FC up north.
Yeah. Inter Miami can't start giving teams their first wins. They can't be their first, like, everybody's first win.
Very interesting. Drake Callender has not allowed an opponent's goal all season long. 3 games, no goals. The reason they lost last week, an own goal from McVay. That,
nasty work.
It's tough business.
It happens, though. But
heard from Thomas Runger, our dude who does the play. He said twice he knocked in an own goal. He said he had sleepless nights. And he said one of them did cost his team the game at the time that he played. And he said, man, a sleepless night. And, you just kind of go in there and you know what everybody's thinking. When you go back in the locker room, it's tough.
You effed up.
Yeah, but you know what? Hope springs eternal. You get Toronto FC. Toronto, not the best team in the world. I do like this Inter Miami team. Keep them in the buck. I like their odds tonight. I like them winning.
Well, they better. I'm producing the game.
Oh, yes. That's going to be a big one right there. We got our guy, Joe Malfa. He's going to be on the call for the radio. Joe Malfa and Thomas Runger.
Love Joe Malfa.
Love both
fellow
those
Jet
guys.
fan.
Oh, yes. University of Maryland graduate right there. So keeping it a buck. Those guys are always great. They're always fun. It's always going to be great. Of course, you can text in the show, keep it a buck, 305-567-0560, or Facebook Live, or you can go to the Twitch page, tinderchat.com. Just tweet it in.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on, but it's got me excited, man. I see Tinder and I see some fingers and some hearts and some other male and female symbols. Glad Tinder enjoys the show. It's sports day after all, Sergey's weighing in late. Ray Liotta, UM alum. Yes, Ray Liotta, University of Miami alumnus. A lot of people do know that actually here in South Florida, but outside of South Florida, a lot of people don't know that. So love Ray Liotta. Oh man, he is greatly missed. Always so great. I'm seeing this commercial now, keeping it a buck. Air, Courting the Legend, the story about Michael Jordan and the Jordans. That's a movie I gotta see.
Are you seeing it because of the story, or are you seeing it because who's playing the characters?
I like the story. I like the clip where the mom's like, yeah, but nobody's had the shoes like something about my son.
Now, this is what I've never heard of Mrs. Michael Jordan's mom being like that type of woman. You know what I mean?
We had an interesting thing yesterday. We're talking about Michael Jordan. Possibly he is going to be selling his stake in the Charlotte Hornets. And I said, Michael Jordan as a player, to me, the greatest of all time. As an owner, meh. And Solana was like, I would even say less than meh. Someone text 305-567-0560 like, oh, he made tons of money as the owner of the Charlotte Hornets. So I don't know about your take. And I said, that makes him a good businessman, but not a good owner. Michael Jordan is a very good businessman. Hey, Republicans buy shoes too. You know that.
I mean, he wasn't lying.
But Michael Jordan as an owner, I think he's not been that great. But as a businessman, absolutely. Michael Jordan.
No, he's been crappy as an owner and whatever. Like, it is what it is. And Michael Jordan, I mean, you know, when you're great, you're so great that you can't even take a criticism, that you can't even talk to your friends no more. So I'll say what Charles Barkley has told him. No, he, as a owner, winning games, advancing his team, he's been a crappy owner. But is the franchise worth more than what he paid for? Yes.
Good businessman.
So great businessman.
I want to bring this up to you, Vlad. Speaking of great basketball players, coaches that have gone in, how messed up were the Knicks that Phil Jackson went there and had to just get the hell out of there? How messed up were the Knicks? Remember?
No, listen, man. Not
when he played. I'm talking about when he was part of the.
Okay, I got a question.
The brass.
I'll answer that. But what does that have to do with March 18, 2023? That has nothing to do with right today.
I was just wondering, like, how messed up were the Knicks that, like, Phil Jackson,
Phil
Jackson,
all right,
won championships
Phil
everywhere.
Jackson didn't want to be there.
He puts his hand on something and it wins a championship.
Phil Jackson didn't want to be there.
Why'd he go then?
Because they were paying him $12 million a year.
Oh, so it was a money grab.
Absolutely a money grab.
Oh.
They would just give. He told them an amount, thinking that they weren't gonna match it. Dolan wanted to match. Dolan was stupid enough to match it, and it was like, all right, cool. Well, I'm not going to be in the city every day working. I'll be in Montana.
Yeah, he likes his private time.
Yeah, smoking trees and reading.
Like Don Nelson, man, that dude smokes. He's got his own like marijuana farm.
I mean, have you seen Don Nelson?
Yeah, he's a dude now, bro. He is a dude.
Did you see Don Nelson back in the days? Like
somebody keeping it a buck. Somebody gave me some vegan brownies the other day, so I'm trying to see what's going to happen tonight.
Vegan brownies?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Is it going to have the same
plant-based, 100% plant-based brownies. Man, you can get anything vegan nowadays, man. That's why it's so easy. It's living in a place like Miami, keeping it a buck. I'm vegan. I go everywhere. You gotta
be a carnivore, man.
No, man. I'm trying to watch out for.
Don't be a herbivore. Be a carnivore.
No, if you cook some brisket, Vlad, I'll eat it. I'll tell you that much. But for the most part, I'm living the vegan lifestyle. It's cool. It's great.
You gonna not eat grill?
Oh man, that's tough right there, man.
Yeah, you're crazy. Come on, man.
And I mean, I'm going back to Louisiana
in
Easter for Big Lynn's birthday. I gotta get some crawfish etouffee. I gotta get some fried catfish.
Stop with all that here, man. All you vegans, stop with that. Stop.
Keep it a buck. What you think about vegans, Vlad? Say what you gotta say. I'm cool.
Man, listen, I'm not because I don't want to be pause worthy, but yeah, man, be a carnivore. Be carnivore. Yes.
That right there is how you keep it a buck. We're gonna be back.
I don't want to say eat some meat or eat poultry. That just sounds weird. But yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, be a carnivore.
That's how you keep it a buck right there. Vladimir Lewis saw. I am Dan Day. This is Sports Day, back with headlines on 560 WQAM.
Listen to WQAM for Cat Talk.
Indeed, we are back, bringing it till 6:45. Miami Heat taking on the Chicago Bulls. Kyle Lowry out tonight. Don't want to play a little back-to-back action today and tomorrow, so he's going to be sitting out, but he's still going to get paid. So congratulations to Kyle Lowry, getting paid not to work. Very excited. Also coming off the bench right now. How do you feel about that, Vlad? Kyle Lowry, we've been a nice little hunk of change on him, and he's coming off the bench now. If he is coming off the bench, like unlike today where he's not playing at all.
Hey man, I mean, he missed so many games. The team got a new rhythm, and maybe that might be. Look, he's looking at the next part of his career because he's not going to be a starter anymore to me, and for any contending team. So, but he might be a good 15 to 20 minute off the bench guy. So, we'll see. We shall see.
That was Jimmy's guy too, man. Jimmy has to kind of be like, oh man, okay.
Hey, sometimes, I mean, Russell was LeBron's guy too.
Yeah, you got your guys. Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. Tennessee did defeat Duke, by the way, 65-52. I'm not surprised right there at all.
My Final Four is messed up. I think a lot of people's Final Four is messed up now.
Vlad said, I don't believe in Duke, but I still am going to the Final Four.
Well, I didn't like the region.
Yeah.
I didn't like their region.
Tennessee, a good team. I don't like them, but they're a good team. So got basketball all day. Got a lot going on in the South Florida sports world. But first, let's take a look back at everything that happened in South Florida over the past week.
And away we go, and O'Meara wins the opening tip.
Miami-Dade's north right here in Amway Center.
Cause girls is players too.
As this one getting underway, the biggest difference about playing on a baseball field as opposed to even a tight soccer pitch. You're talking about differences in turf, sometimes back when you were playing, even infield dirt, let alone the dimensions.
Penthouse suites, looking down on the ops. Took her for a test drive, left them on the lot.
Welcome inside FLA Live Arena. It's the Panthers and the Jets.
Miami Heat in the traditional home white, jet black with fluorescent yellow on the chest and back of the Utah Jazz.
Catch another fight. The apple bottom make them want to bite.
Welcome inside FLA Live Arena here in Sunrise. Panthers and the Montreal Canadiens.
Hold up. If you don't know, now you know. If you broke, then you gotta let him go.
So with the Heat in the championship red and a blue that doesn't look anything like my suit tonight, it's time to ball, y'all. The Heat is on the radio.
Pack for the lead. In the air. Got it! Two-pointer. Pack puts Miami in front with 1 minute to go.
Jimmy with a look. Pump fake. Leans in for three. Got it! Got it! Got it!
Gives to Kachuk right circle, a shot, and he scores! Matthew Kachuk out of the right circle, and the Panthers take a 9-4 lead.
Five-star food, that tastes so delicious.
And the final whistle brings a frantic close in the Bronx. And NYC pockets a win, even though they could not put the ball past Drake Callender. 1-0 on the own goal against McVay in the first half. Inter Miami, a gutsy effort they should be proud of.
Front tipped in, they score. Recovering a loose puck in front was Shifley, and he wins it for the Jets in overtime, 5-4 the final.
Cause girls is players too.
Good win by Orlando, 126-114 in overtime.
And the horn sounds, the Panthers take it tonight, 9-5.
This one belongs to the Heat, 119 to 115, led by the 24 points of Jimmy Butler. Oh, they're playing the music early, but it is winning time. This one belongs to the Heat, 138-119, taking care of business.
What you know about living on the top?
And the Hurricanes go on a 16-1 run, and Miami goes to round 2 of the NCAA tournament in incredible, dramatic fashion. Miami 63, Drake 56. That's your final score in Albany. What a change of events.
Apple bottom make them want to bite. I just want to.
Serious question. Does anyone love the Miami Hurricanes more than Joe Zagacki?
No.
I don't think so. I'm not even just saying it because I just heard him on the call. Like, that's legit Joe right there in his happy place. Miami Hurricanes winning anything. They win at anything. And Joe is just in this euphoric world where, like, goodness gracious, He loves the Canes more than
Josie
Whew.
like we do, and you hear him for so many years broadcasting all hurricane sports. Nothing makes him happier when he believes in a University of Miami sports team and they're not getting nationally respected by the media, and they go out and prove the media wrong, the naysayers wrong. That you can hear the enjoyment. You can hear that right there. That 16-1 was like, yeah, like Miami showing you, no, that's with their big man being hurt. Sprained ankle last Saturday, right? Oh no, it was Friday. He sprained his ankle last Friday in the ACC tournament semifinal against Duke. Thank God they played Friday. He had a full week to rest. And though he was hampered, him being there was such a, his presence being there was significant. And that 16-1 run was unbelievable. And now they advance and they take on Indiana, a team that was struggling towards the end of the season, but had a good win last night. It's going to be a good 4-5 matchup. I like the Canes.
I do too. I like Coach L. I believe in Coach L. I believe in this team. I believe they're still under the radar. No one's really giving them the respect they deserve and that they should have, but they just keep doing it. They just keep answering the call, and I think they will answer that call tomorrow night, so we'll have to wait and see. Let's get to some other headlines. Former All-Pro Patriots punter Jake Bailey has signed with the Dolphins. Of course, yesterday, Miami further bolstered their special teams, inking former Canes returner Braxton Berrios. He is no longer with the Jets. He is one of our Miami Dolphins. Also, Miami Dolphins continue to be active in the free agency. They have signed former Broncos and Steelers outside linebacker. I'm talking, of course, about Malik Reed. He is going to be reunited with Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio seems kind of like a Mike McDaniel, likes to bring his guys in, whether it be running backs, whether it be defensive guys. He gets his guys going there. Miami Dolphins, of course, Jalen Ramsey, the big pickup earlier this week. Very excited to have him with the team. Behind that second half strong showing, the Canes men's basketball team defeated Drake 63-56. They face the 4-seed Indiana tomorrow at 8:40. The ladies team, they defeated Oklahoma State earlier today by 1 point, and they are going to be facing top-seeded Indiana also. So it's Miami versus Indiana. Just buckle up and get ready. We're taking those Hoosiers down all over the place. The Heat are in Chicago tonight to face the Bulls. Tip is going to be at 8 o'clock. Alejandro Solana going to be stopping by in just a little while. He is going to have preheat for you at 6:45. We're going to lead you into that. Tommy Tighe stopped by just a while ago. He told us all types of great stories. He hung out with Richard Nixon a couple times. Well, not a couple times, one time.
Dude, he beat my story. Like, I had a similar story. But the celebrity that I saw was the owner of the team. It was the boss. And everybody just like, the minute he started moving, everybody just froze. I've never seen anything like that. Like everybody just froze.
I've never seen an actual president in person, not past or present, like never seen one in person. You think of all the years and the things I've done, I would have seen one. Like
I saw GW.
You would think like somewhere along the line I would see Bill Clinton, at a speaking event or something like that.
No, you wouldn't.
But I've never actually seen
you wouldn't.
Someone who has been president or is president in person.
No. Have you ever seen a candidate in person?
I would probably venture to say no. Never in person.
No,
I haven't.
Yeah, it's not one of those things like, it's just like happenstance, like, it's a normal day thing. No, it's not going to happen like that.
And I've had my opportunities.
How? They got security, You're not,
but like you can go to speeches or like,
you're still not close.
Yeah, but I mean, at least I could see him in person. Then yeah, it's one of those things.
In person.
I mean, I have seen presidential candidates, like the lower nobody guys.
If you're all the way in the back in a crowd,
that counts.
Oh, is that in person?
Yeah, that's in person. Yeah, that's real. That's real.
Yeah, you're an audience member, man.
But it's still there. Okay, but nonetheless, the Marlins, goodness gracious, they have been 1-5 over the past 6 spring training games. Man. They got the Nationals today. Lionel Messi's father and agent. That's when you got things going on. Your dad is not just your dad; he's your agent. I don't know how much I like that.
That also means Daddy knows where the where the golden ticket
seems to be working for Lamar Jackson. His mom is his agent. But nonetheless, George has denied rumors. Jorge, that his son has left PSG's practice facilities and is demanding 600 million euros from Saudi Arabia's Al Hilal. He also didn't rule out that Messi could one day be playing in Inter Miami. And go ahead and you'd say, stop it.
Well, the PSG experiment is over. I think Mbappe's going to Real Madrid, and they got to let Neymar's hurt again. Again.
Nobody has a better lineup than PSG and does less with
Who's more hurt? Who's more in
Neymar's bad.
Who's more in street clothes? Neymar or Anthony Davis? We should that should be a poll question.
Neymar's hurt a lot.
He's always hurt.
At least Anthony Davis is playing right now.
He just can't play back to back. But he's trying. But he's always Neymar's always hurt.
All I know is I gotta have my Herons healthy. They're playing Toronto FC tonight at 7:30. Vlad, you're gonna be on the game with Joe Malfa and Thomas Rungan.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Stoked. After hanging 9 on the Canadiens on Thursday, the Panthers, they play the Devils tonight at 6 o'clock. World Baseball Classic. It's getting real. It's getting real.
Win the semis.
USA, Venezuela, win or go home today, 7 o'clock, Lone Depot Park.
Quarterfinal game.
Winner goes on to the semifinals. And, oh, by the way, plays Cuba right here in South Florida.
Yes. And also, we have a UFC pay-per-view card tonight.
Oh, well, we got Usman, right?
Usman Edwards 3.
Who you got?
Usman. He's got to win. That was he shouldn't have lost that last fight, man. That guy hit him with the look. You know how Marquez hit Pacquiao with that punch?
Yeah.
That's how Edwards kicked Usman. He kicked that man. You can't be kicking me like that.
Whenever they have the big fights and I'm heading home after a long day here at the radio station, I go down Hollandale Beach Boulevard. Upper deck is just packed with people because it's like a big fight club. And people are just packed to the Raptors watching the fights there at Upper Deck in Hollandale Beach. It's crazy.
Hey, Dan, if we're ever in a situation and somebody kicks me and I'm knocked out, like, you gotta
I'll take care of it.
Nah, you got
I'm not a flight guy. I'm a fight guy.
Listen, you can knock me out, but don't kick me and knock me out, man.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Your foot, man. That's nastiness.
Oh, no. Let's see what the Canes baseball team is doing. So we were pleasantly surprised by the Canes women's basketball team. I had a bad feeling about it, and lo and behold, they took care of business earlier today. Canes baseball team, 3 home runs in 4 batters. So they hit 3 home runs in 4 batters, updated on their Twitter page. So that's pretty good. Let's see. 3 home runs in 4 batters. That's all I got right now. So it looks like things are going okay.
Somebody said they were winning.
They were up 9-3 at the end of 6, or was that yesterday? Let's see. That was 49 minutes ago. So yeah. So they're playing a doubleheader today. They were up 9-3 at the end of the 6th inning against Virginia Tech. That's 17th ranked Virginia Tech, mind you. So all right. So far, we're pretty high on all the teams right now. FAU, they got me high too. They hit a late layup to down Memphis at the NCAA tournament. They are going to play 16th seed Fairleigh Dickinson tomorrow at 7:45. Don't want to look too far ahead, but the winner of that FAU Fairleigh Dickinson game will play Tennessee, who just defeated Duke. So that's interesting. Could be fun. And we're going to talk about this next segment, Vlad. You're going to have to enlighten me a little bit. Novak Djokovic has been denied COVID-19 vaccine exemption by the United States and will not participate at the Miami Open, which begins next week. Have you ever been out to the Miami Open?
No.
I haven't either. I went to the F1 race, which was crazy.
I want to go this year to the We should do the F1 race.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens with
that.
F1
we got to work on some things. We got some things.
People that are into F1, man, whoo, they are into it.
Oh, listen, man. Remember, I don't know if you remember the Mad Dog used to say, those are the wine sippers with their fingers, the pinky fingers sticking
It's not
out.
cheap.
Yeah, that's definitely F1 race, man.
It's not cheap to go to an F1 race.
That's the 1%ers, bro.
It's up there, man. It is up there. But it is one of those events that's like no other. It's crazy. It's wild. It's interesting. I'll say it's interesting. It's a very interesting event to go to. You pay like $400 for like walk around tickets where you don't have a seat. You just kind of walk around. Is it craziness? Speaking of craziness, let's go ahead and take a step into the day spa. Louisiana state law is forcing a couple to give up their 22-pound nutria rat. The state says they cannot have it as a pet, but when it comes to eating that large rat, no problem.
That's nasty.
I've had nutria. Big rodent, just like a big beaver. The meat's a little tough. I'm not gonna lie. Anytime you eat rat, it's not the highest quality of meat, But yeah, they do that in Louisiana. Nutria, man. They have a nutria infestation. Like we have iguanas here in like New Orleans and the swamps. There's just nutria everywhere, man. And sometimes, like we do in Louisiana, if it lives and breathes, we cook it and we eat it. But I'm not going. When I go back to visit Big Lynn, I'm not going in for any nutria rat. I'm gonna have to skip that.
Nasty work, boss.
All right, up next, Vladmir is going to maybe give me some enlightenment on what's going on with Novak Djokovic and his thinking behind not getting vaccinated. I don't know. He's not going to be at the Miami Open. We know that. That's going to be on Sports Day next here on 560 WQAM.
Text WQAM on the Kendall Toyota text line at 305-567-0560. Drive in the new year at Kendall Toyota. Get 0% financing with approved credit or make no payments for 90 days on select new Toyotas. And get our biggest selection and savings on new Toyota Tundras. Happy new car from Kendall Toyota. Call 305-KENDALL.
What do you think of when you think of Memorial Day weekend? Add a new tradition this year. Salute America's heroes at the Hyundai Air and Sea Show on Miami Beach, Memorial Day weekend, May 27th and 28th. To become a sponsor or reserve a cabana, go to usasalute.com.
No one knows when they're going to be a victim of an accident. It's life-changing. Your rights to justice are under attack in Tallahassee by big insurance companies. They are trying to shut the doors on victims' rights to recover compensation in their darkest hours. It's not fair, and it's not justice. I'm Glenn Levine with Anna Jarn Levine, and I'm asking you to tell your lawmakers to oppose House Bill 837 and Senate Bill 236. Keep Florida free and take back control of your life.
University Mitsubishi, South Florida's #1 volume Mitsubishi dealer. Start the new year in a new ride. 0% interest plus 8,000 off all new Outlanders in stock. 0 down, 0 interest plus 0 payments for 90 days. Shop in person or online at universitymitsubishi.com.
Hurricane fans, football is coming. The Canes have a consensus top 5 recruiting class coming to Coral Gables this fall. Miami has a loaded home schedule that includes Texas A&M and Clemson. 2023 season tickets are available now, starting at $300 for all 7 games. Get ready for an exciting season of Hurricanes football at Hard Rock Stadium. Head to MiamiHurricanes.com/tickets to lock in your seats today and go Canes.
I switched to Boost Mobile and got a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Want to know the best part?
It was free?
Nope.
The fact that it's on America's largest 5G networks?
Nope. It's the ding.
Oh, yeah. Love the ding.
Right? It's all about the ding. It's the dingarooski, the dingarone, the ring-a-ding-ding.
Unleash your power to save with Boost. Get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone when you switch. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power.
And the ding.
Limited time offer. New customers only. Available on select networks. 5G not available everywhere. One device per line. Tax excluded. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
What do you mean he went searching for fresher powder? We have full classes today.
Instructor down at Vesper Ski School.
Toward each other to snowplow, honey, not away.
She needs more ski instructors to slalom through the day-to-day.
Pizza, fries. Whoa, Braley, no, pizza.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.
Don't ever forget your
.560 WQAM. This is Sports Day. My cousin Vladmir Louison with me. I am Dan Day at Dan Day Radio on all your social medias at Vlad2078. Talking about the last break, Novak Djokovic not going to be participating in the Miami Open, basically because he is not vaccinated for COVID-19 and he can't get an exemption from the U.S. government to enter the country and to play sports and to do all that other stuff, which has me wondering, this man has missed out on millions of dollars and at a point where he is pretty much the best tennis player in the world. I don't know if anybody would even argue that. He's missed out on some Grand Slam tournaments because of his unwillingness to get vaccinated. That's a lot of money. That's an interesting business decision. Now, I can understand maybe there's been some civil rights in the past that people have abstained and done things like that. I can more understand that. Like if work tells me, and this is just me from a business perspective, that, hey, you can't enter the building unless you're vaccinated. I'm going to get vaccinated so I can make money. What is Novak Djokovic Is he just doesn't want to get vaccinated, or does he think that maybe it's evil? Or
It's just not something he wants to do. He's totally against it, and he's been against it. And I mean, listen, we all had to. Those that chose, and they wanted to get paid, they got vaccinated. We all did. You know myself. We all did. Djokovic, he's that good. He's that rich that he doesn't have to, and he can suffer the loss of a little money. But here's the thing, though, Dan. There's no more. Apparently, it's not there anymore, or the chances of getting it's very, very difficult. So after 3 years, does he really need an exemption? Should he not be able? Like, if he's able to fly, you're able to fly the countries now. You can fly international. There's no, hey, I need to see a card, or did you get? No, there's none of that anymore. So what are we doing?
And that's the thing. Is it as simple as maybe he's got more money than God? He doesn't care if he's missing out on money.
I don't think so, because you're missing on majors. The money part. Listen, sometimes principles is more than money.
Could it be as simple as, he's kind of proven himself? Maybe he just wants to take some time off, and it's an easy excuse.
No.
Is he really fighting this battle?
Yes,
That's the question I'm asking.
it's a principle over money sometimes. Like, he really believes it. Like, there's just people that really believe it.
Is it the principle, or is he saying, we don't have enough evidence or enough, testing to know that maybe it could be detrimental to your health in the future?
Hey, bro.
Is it that he doesn't believe in? And I'm not getting political.
I don't know, because it sounds like he has a similar mindset like Aaron Rodgers did, but Aaron said he did some type of I forgot the word he used.
Right, he used a little trickery of words,
but it was like another type of
he's been immunized.
Immunization. So he took a different type of immunization. I don't think Djokovic wants to take any type of immunization, needle, or anything. I just don't think he likes needles. Maybe.
Is he really taking a stand though, or is he just? I don't know,
bro.
Are people going to look back? And that's what I ask. And 50 years from now, people are like, you know what? Novak Djokovic really stood up for what he believed. Like, I don't think anybody's really like patting him on the back. Or maybe some people are. Now, look, if you choose not to get vaccinated, that is your business. I'm totally. To be honest, I've been shot up 4 times. I've gotten as many as I can get. I'm okay with that. If you choose not to, but are people that are anti-vax, are they really looking up to Novak Djokovic? Is Novak Djokovic one of the poster children for we're against this COVID-19 vaccine? Or I just don't understand what he's doing. I guess I have the most trouble figuring out what is he really doing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's fighting. He's fighting for his principle. I think he has principles, bro. Sometimes you just gotta respect. I respect somebody if they stay on their principles.
Has he come out and explained why he's not getting vaccinated? Other than just it's a personal choice?
I believe he did. It was just his choice. He just doesn't believe, like you said, on the studies, and he doesn't believe what the experts were saying or anything like that.
Does he believe he's fighting a good fight? I'm not saying it's good or bad, but does he really believe that he's fighting a good fight?
Listen, I don't know. If the man never had it, I wouldn't know. He's not publicly said anything other than that he doesn't want to be shot up.
My favorite was Kyrie Irving, who was standing up for the little man. And then when it came time,
he was kind of right though.
But when it came time, he got vaccinated because it would have cost him more money. He didn't want to lose any more money. So it's one of those things. Oh man, okay.
But think about it. A year later, everybody's back to the same things they were prior to 2020. Like, that's funny. Last week was the 3-year anniversary.
Yeah. Those are dark times, man.
Okay.
Dark times.
Last week was the 3-year anniversary. This past week was the 3-year anniversary of COVID. And 3 years later, things are pretty much back to the same. Pretty much back to the same that they were prior to March 13th, 2020. So, however you want to look at it, whatever side you're on, I can see both points. I can see the Djokovic side. I can see that. I can see Kyrie's side. Because 3 years later, we're back to being who we were before. But at that time, being told what we were told by these experts, you're going to follow and listen. So if you're still living right now, still breathing, you're still able to see the next day, just be thankful with whatever decision you chose.
Yeah. One thing is for sure, Novak Djokovic, man, there's so many. We live in the golden age of tennis players for a while, but right now, pound for pound, the best tennis player in the world. He won the French Open, which he was allowed to play at. I mean, I love Nick Kyrgios just simply because Nick Kyrgios is crazy and wild, and he just kind of fits my style, and all that stuff.
That's a wild night out with him.
I love Nick Kyrgios a lot, but I mean, you got to admit, he is no Novak Djokovic. Novak Djokovic, when he plays, it's almost impossible. I mean, he did lose the other day. I saw that Daniil Medvedev beat him, but like that was the first time he had lost in 20 matches, something like that. So it's one of those things. Hey, look, you believe in what you believe, and you believe in what you believe for the reasons that you believe it. And he is going to do that. I don't totally understand it, but maybe it'll be clear to me one day. I guess maybe I'm just so poor that like, I need the money, man. I need to work. I want to work. I want to do things like that. Maybe that's why I can't wrap my head around it, but more power to him. So we'll see how all that goes and how everything in Novak Djokovic's world comes around. Like, Serena Williams, she's done playing tennis also, correct? So we're not going to see her.
She took a little break.
That's weird. She's like transitioning into being not a tennis player, she said. Like
she's taking a break.
Yeah, she's taking a break. And
I don't like the word transition because, like, it sounds like you're about to pass away.
It is kind of weird.
She's what's a good word?
That's what she said.
No, yeah, I don't
I'm
like
using her
transition.
words.
I don't like that word. Let's come up with a better word. We're smart. We could come up with better words. Roger and Webster made many other words.
I think she's on a hiatus.
She's progressing. No, that's not even worse.
Yeah, I mean,
she's positioning herself after retirement. How about that?
Yeah.
To retirement.
I wouldn't
She's
mind
positioning herself to retirement.
this
but
Miami Open that's coming to town. I would not mind going to a match.
You know what, Dan? It sucks because I regret not getting a chance to see the Federers and the Nadals and Serena play when it was down here. I kind of took it for granted. Also, I probably didn't want to pay money out of my pocket when I worked for a sports station. Things of that nature. But now it's kind of a regret. Now it's a regret because we didn't get a chance to see some of the not even the best tennis players in the world, but like some of the best athletes. Like Serena is considered one of, like, not only the best female athlete, but just one of the greatest athletes of all time, male or female. So, but once again, South Florida, the Liddy City. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody lives here and plays here.
The Liddy City. You got the Miami Open.
Mm-hmm.
You got spring break. You got Hurricanes men and women basketball team in the NCAA tournament. Panthers making a run. Heat trying to solidify a playoff spot. And then you have the F1 race coming very shortly.
We got
so
Inter Miami doing some things.
And Inter Miami is going to be here for the summer. So listen, man, there's going to be a lot of good sporting events down here in South Florida for the next 3 to 4 months up until you get your, you're going to get your fix up until football season begins.
Remember, at 6:45, we're going to have preheat on right here for the Heat and the Bulls. And tomorrow, the Heat game is going to be moving to our sister station, Power 96, where you can hear Tommy Tighe.
Jackson the FM, huh?
Hanging out with Drake, Lizzo, and all that great stuff right there. So it's going to be bouncing around, moving around. But tonight, the Heat are right here on 560 WQAM. You can jump in right now if you want. All you have to do is go 305-567-0560, or you can jump on the Twitch page or YouTube Live. Just type in 560 WQAM. Toxic fart. Just text in. How about a shootout? Shootout. Why not? Let's go Heat from Sergey. Appreciate you guys weighing in. Up next, though, Vlad, it is that time. We do a little something called Something or Nothing, where I read off some headlines and you tell me and make the definitive decision whether it is something or nothing. This is Sports Day on 560 WQAM.
Hey, want to see the ugly
It is Sports Day on 560 WQAM. I am Dan Day Vladmir. You can text us 305-567-0560. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Not to mention, you can go to the Twitch page, 560 WQAM, and see my cousin Vladimir Louison's countenance, along with my toupee that's flailing and wobbling all over the place. I mess with it all the time. I don't know where did I get this toupee from. Nonetheless, right now is a part of the show where we do something or nothing. I read out some of the headlines that are happening all around the world, and Vladimir makes the definitive decision on whether it is something or absolutely nothing. So let's get things started right now. If you're watching a little bit of basketball while you're listening to this, you got Kansas and Arkansas playing right now. I got some family up in Little Rock, Arkansas. Yeah, they hate that. But nonetheless, Kansas is up 9-2, but they're doing so without head coach Bill Self because he's sitting out today after having 2 stents put into his heart. He had a little procedure. He was kind of dizzy, not feeling good, went to the hospital, had some stents, decided to sit out this game for health reasons. Is that something or nothing, Vlad?
That's something, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're talking about health, and you're talking about one of the best coaches in college basketball,
right?
I think they're the defending national champions.
Yes, they are.
Right? So, yeah, and they're the number 1 seed, and you could tell they missed them last week in the ACC, the Big 12 tournament.
Mm-hmm.
But we shall see. Maybe they can pull off a victory over Arkansas, and he'll be back Thursday or Friday at the Sweet 16.
Yeah, Kansas up 11-2 right now. Arkansas, a team with much expectations going in. They had the number 1 player in the country from high school that didn't really play that much this season. They had some injuries. They had a lot of 5-star blue chippers. Just haven't really lived up to the expectations. They've been to back-to-back Elite 8 tournament, to the Elite 8 back-to-back years. This year, it's going to take a lot because they got to get through Kansas. Kansas looks pretty good with or without Bill Self right now, so we'll see. Speaking of coaches, Rick Pitino says he is uncertain on his coaching future after Iona fell to UConn. A lot of people saying he's up for that St. John's job in New York City. Is that something or nothing?
It's always something, but it's Pitino, man. You know, Pitino, Larry Brown, these guys can't leave the coaching profession, man. They're always going to be involved in something, and they're a name commodity. So, yeah, he'll probably be the coach at St. John's.
You can probably tell me better than anybody. Saying how beloved is St. John's in New York City?
Back in the days they were loved.
I know it's huge.
But that was because of the Big East and how prominent Big East was at the time. The Big East was the biggest conference in college basketball. You know, that's the reason why we have all these conference championships right now, because of what the Big East tournament did. The Big East tournament was at Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. It's remarkable. The players that you saw, because you saw those players eventually get drafted in the NBA, and you know, Patrick Ewing, Pearl Washington, Chris Mullin, those guys. So yeah, St. John's was loved. Louis Carnesecca, Walter Barry, Sendon Hamilton. I mean, there was a lot of great players that came out of St. John's, but then the Big East college football took over, and the Big East got dismantled.
Right.
And that's why some of those teams went to the ACC, the AAC, all of that. So,
what was that great game? And it went to like 8 overtime.
Oh, that was Syracuse, Connecticut.
What a game. I remember I was working at a radio station. It was a music station, and I was working 7 to midnight. And I was like, oh, this has to be a replay or something. It just kept going. And then I couldn't leave at midnight because I wanted to see the end of the game. So I ended up sticking around to work just to watch that game. That to me was the craziest game I've ever seen in my life. Most fun game I've ever seen in my life. What an absolute roller coaster. RIP Big East. The world, maybe not a better place than the Big East is going, though. But man, absolutely loved him. Courtney Love, you know who she is. She penned an op-ed in The Guardian slamming the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for being sexist in an old boys club. Is that something or nothing?
That's tough, because it's probably something.
Yeah.
But sometimes the messenger of the message.
I love Courtney Love. I think Courtney Love should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well, that's probably what it is, but yeah.
Courtney Love.
I don't know if Courtney.
I like her. I like Hole. I think Hole's a good band.
I don't know if they deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I mean, she did ride some coattails. Not gonna say. Of course, she was married to Kurt Cobain. He did help her out a little bit. Of course, she dated Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins. He helped her out a little bit. She also dated Trent Reznor from 9 Inch Nails. He helped her out a little bit.
It's not like, it's like all the guys that you're naming. It's not like they're just not legendary legendary,
take me over,
you know, vocalists or band, you know, guitarists or band members. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're talking about the best of the best. So yeah.
And Celebrity Skin. She says the only song she ever let someone help her with was Celebrity Skin, and she let Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins help her. And it's their biggest hit. I don't know. I like Hole though. I like Courtney Love. I like because she's a hot mess, and she's actually I guess she's kind of cleaned up. I haven't heard as much about her lately, but man, back in the day, she was crazy, man. Pregnant, smoking cigarettes and magazines, and doing all types.
But
of
she's also a good actress as well.
Oh, loved her in The People versus Barry Flint, Larry Flint. Loved her,
And,
man.
yeah.
She's been in some other movies.
What was it? She was in a movie with Bradley Cooper.
She's been in some weird stuff too before she got famous. It was crazy, man. But yeah.
I don't know. She may have some validity to that. But yeah, I'm not getting involved.
You want to get involved with this? De La Soul.
I was just playing them.
And the Roots. They performed on Jimmy Fallon, played Stakes is High the other night. Is that something or nothing?
Absolutely something. Of course, you're talking about two legendary hip hop groups together, you know, and on the Jimmy Fallon show, the Roots, one of the greatest groups, and De La Soul, another one of the greatest groups ever.
I know you're high on them.
I love them. I love the fact that their music is now being able to be streamed, and it just sucks that, you know, one of the members of the group passed away right when that was happening. So, but yeah, having them on Jimmy Fallon show with the Roots, who are just great live, just one of the best hip hop bands ever. That was absolutely something.
You gotta love that, man. The two things that I always watch on late night talk shows are the monologues, because hopefully they're funny, and the bands. And the bands, man. I mean, I like the interviews with the artists or the actors and actresses, but man, I really get a kick out of the live performances from the bands. It's just so exciting to me. So I absolutely love that. University of South Florida professor is going to spend 100 days in an undersea habitat. Is that something or nothing? He is a marine biologist.
It's nothing.
I mean, that's 100 days, man.
So what? He studies that.
That's his life. He's putting his money where his mouth is.
All right. That's why you went to school. That's why you spent that money in tuition.
They do those crazy things. You ever seen those experiments where like people get locked in like cellars and their natural body rhythm, like they have like, instead of like, you know, normally because we have the sun and the nighttime, you know, we're on a pretty schedule, but when you don't have the sun and the moon and your body just starts going on its natural rhythm, people have like 24-hour cycles. Like they literally are up doing stuff for 24 hours. Then they sleep for like 8 hours and they get back up in 24 hours. That stuff's crazy to me, man.
No, man, I'm not doing that. I need my sleep.
No sellers for you.
No.
A man refused to chip in for his boss's expensive going away gift. Now his coworkers are mad at him. Is that something or nothing?
It's nothing. Maybe he didn't like the boss.
Well, why would you be mad at someone that doesn't want to spend money? I mean, come on.
And like, why are you kissing ass to the boss that's leaving? You should be kissing ass to the boss that's coming.
That could actually help you though. You know, he might be going somewhere else and, you know, down the road, get that job there, man. I don't know. Maybe there's some validity to why his coworkers are mad at him on that one.
Nah. And maybe what if he thought the gift was just a little too much? Like,
I'm sure
he doesn't believe that that boss deserves that type of gift.
Maybe. Did you know Mother's Day? It's kind of right around the corner. You got a little bit of time, so don't hit the panic button just yet. It's going to be on May 14th this year. Got some Mother's Day topics to touch on. A woman admits she hates spending Mother's Day at the in-laws. Is that something or nothing?
That's nothing. No,
everybody knows that.
Yeah, most people don't like spending the time with the in-laws.
Why is that? That's interesting.
But wait a minute. That's a good
They're
question.
not your family, I guess.
Well,
technically.
if it's Mother's Day, is she a mother?
Didn't say.
See, that's the thing. If she has her kids on her own, why would she have to go to the in-laws? Shouldn't the kids be spoiling her?
In-laws. It is weird though. Like when somebody you're dating, you meet their parents. Oh man, that's painful, man.
Meet the parents.
I try to avoid that. I'm not Mr. Take You Home, meet the parents type, I guess.
When do you meet the parents?
I try never to.
How long have you ever been with a person? What's the longest relationship you ever been with?
Oh, man, I've been in one that's been over like a year or two.
And you never met the
Oh,
parents?
yeah, I did. Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
It's just awkward.
What do you mean it's awkward?
Mom's hitting on me and everything like that. It's weird, you know?
So is the mom attractive?
It doesn't matter. I got the younger version.
The older version is always good.
Oh, boy. Well, you know, the apple don't fall far from the tree. So
right.
there you go.
So What's wrong with meeting the parents?
I don't know, man. Then I don't know, man. It's just I don't know. It's just I'm
What do
weird.
you mean you don't know?
I'm weird like that, man. Like I think it's weird.
What do you mean it's weird?
I'm not dating the parents. I'm dating the woman.
But in order to,
I know. You go through it. You do. I mean, you always have to break some eggs to make an omelet. I'll do it. I'll cross those bridges
damn,
when I
you know
get
you're
there.
not like 16 anymore. You know that,
I
right?
know, man. I got to grow up a little bit. I do
Yeah, like
understand that.
you know.
I didn't say I was giving good relationship advice today. I always have really bad relationship advice, honestly. But we'll see. I don't. Somebody asked me the other day, like, do you bring women home to Big Lynn? I was like, absolutely. Rarely do I ever do that. Rarely. You gotta be like big time. You gotta have like long time with me. Like, can't just be bringing ladies back willy nilly to mom. I mean, like, how long do you think, Vlad, if you meet a girl, you're dating her for like a month, you're gonna bring her home to meet your parents at some point, or go out to eat? What's a
No,
good time?
she's not meeting the parents. I'm not bringing her home to meet the parents, but
I never do that.
Go
out to eat.
Going out to eat, like, yeah.
Go get some bang bang shrimp or something like that and have a good time.
If we're going out and she wants to hang out, yeah, I might be like, yeah, this is what I'm seeing as of right now. But I'm talking. I understand that point. I'm not talking about like 2-3 months into the relationship or you're talking to the person. But if you're a year and a half, 2 years.
Okay, yeah. I mean, naturally, you're gonna meet them. You got to. There's holidays and
Do you feel pressured? Like, do you feel pressured? Do you feel like, I don't know.
Just
I've done bad things,
That's probably where it stems from. Just
I'm also your therapist here.
I know. You really do try to pull things out of me. I do appreciate that. It does help me. Yeah, it's just one of those things. And we'll talk about it off the air, maybe. It's not for on air. Speaking of Mother's Day, though, I got this. A woman expects her family to spend hundreds of dollars on her this Mother's Day because she feels she deserves it. Something or nothing.
Hey man, talk your ish, man.
If you got, if you got the money, why not?
I mean, if she feels like she's done enough, she feels like she wants to be spoiled. Go ahead.
If I was a millionaire, I would have no problem spending hundreds of dollars on Big Lynn. You want something, you got it. I'm just not a millionaire, so I can't spend hundreds of dollars.
It's just a thought that counts for you.
No, yeah, it's just a thought.
No, if you put a thought.
Remember I got in trouble on Valentine's Day because of the thought.
Nah, well, no. Your thought was after Valentine's Day. It wasn't the day of Valentine's.
I thought I got some nice things, but apparently stickers, vegan butter, and
I tell you, nobody likes vegan.
Organic baby spinach is not the sexiest Valentine's thing.
Jeez, when you vegan, stop. Nobody likes vegans.
I love vegans. What are you talking about? I don't know. All right. A bride-to-be bans her sister from being a bridesmaid because she says her sister is just too pretty and would ruin her big day.
Wait. Her sister's friend?
No. Her sister. Her
Wait,
sister's
a bridesmaid denied her.
No. The bride denied her sister being a bridesmaid because the sister's just too pretty.
Okay.
It's going to take away from the big day. Is that something or nothing?
That's something, man. Like, wait a minute. How hateful are you to your sister? Like, are you the type of person that starts cropping out any picture that you're taking with your sister?
I'm thinking two things too here. Did something go on with the groom to be and this sister?
No, it's not that.
Or
no, it's not that. Maybe she's so pretty and the bride's so ugly that like everybody's gonna start hollering at her at the wedding reception, and then like nobody's gonna pay attention to the because I mean, we all know wedding ceremonies. The whole thing's for women.
I love receptions. What are you talking about? Drinks,
I
dancing,
get that.
cake?
It is, but you have to understand. But look, the reception is about the bride, so she can do the walk around with all the tables, and it's also where single women are trying to look for potential husbands, suitors. So if her sister is that banging, then therefore she's gonna hate, but not be a bride. Like that's crazy.
I don't know.
That's a
if
little
I'm
crazy.
the guy that's getting married, that might be a little bit of a red flag.
Well, clearly he liked you. He's marrying you.
I'm just saying, like, if your lady to be, or your bride to be, is already kind of acting like that. I don't know. Let's see. Did you know now the most popular dog, according to the American Kennel Association, is French bulldogs? They have replaced the Labrador Retriever. Is that something or nothing?
That's something.
Frenchies.
French bulldogs.
I like Frenchies. I like bulldogs.
I like labs, man.
You're a lab guy?
I'm a lab guy.
Man, I love corgis. And what is the other dog that I like? I like a good corgi. They just make me laugh and they smile. I don't know.
Labs are just goofy.
Oh, Australian Shepherds. Man, I've seen some. I was on Los Olas last weekend, and I saw 2 separate Australian Shepherds. Those were some beautiful looking dogs.
Yeah.
I do like an Australian Shepherd.
Okay.
Beautiful. Last but not least, a study shows high caffeine levels may help people stay slim. Something or nothing.
Hey, man, that might explain everything for me, bro.
Me and you drink a lot of caffeine.
We drink a lot of caffeine.
We're very skinny.
Yeah, we're very, I'm slender.
But I will say, dude, like if you drink a lot of caffeine, your hunger does go down drastically.
What do you mean?
I like if I drink like today, I had 2 cups of coffee. I'm not hungry at all right now. I haven't eaten all day.
Not me, bro.
Oh, really? Man, caffeine.
I got munchies.
I'm done, man. So much to get high on here in South Florida with all the sports that are going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a break so you can get some munchies in your mouth. And we're going to talk about all the things that you can get high on here in the South Florida sports world next. This is Sports Day on 560 WQAM.
Breaking news from AM 560 Sports WQAM is presented by BetQL. Smarter bets start with BetQL. Download the BetQL
That is right. Getting you ready for the Miami Heat and Chicago Bulls pregame. Going to be starting at 6:45. Vlad and I are going to be leading you up to that with Sports Day. Alejandro Solana, my dude, is supposed to be stopping by in a couple of minutes. We're going to talk Heat. We're going to maybe do some 3 questions with him, where Vlad and I are going to pepper him at least with just 3 somewhat, hopefully, important questions. In the meantime, we're going to get you caught up and get you ready for everything that is happening in and around the sports world here in South Florida and past our walls here in South Florida. Kansas is up on Arkansas 26-21. We know Bill Self not coaching that game. Arkansas making somewhat of a comeback. It's still early in the game. They're not even to halftime yet. 4 minutes left in the first half. So that get you going with that basketball action. Miami Heat always going to be good to the last drop. We know Kyle Lowry not playing tonight for the Miami Heat. I guess they're trying to rest him on the front end of a back-to-back because tonight they're on 560 WQAM. Like I said, at 6:45. Then tomorrow, a little bit earlier in the day, they're going to be playing on a Power 96. So that's going to be fun. Right now, though, let's get a little Power 96 vibe going and play back some of the highlights we had from the Miami and South Florida sports world over the past week.
And away we go, and Omir wins the opening tip.
Miami-Dade's north right here at Amway Center.
Cause girls is players too.
As this one getting underway, the biggest difference about playing on a baseball field as opposed to even a tight soccer pitch. You're talking about differences in turf, sometimes back when you were playing, even infield dirt, let alone the dimensions.
Penthouse suites looking down on the ops. Took her for a test drive, left them on the lot.
Welcome inside FLA Live Arena. It's the Panthers and the Jets.
Miami Heat in the traditional home white. Jet black with fluorescent yellow on the chest and back of the Utah Jazz.
Catch another fight. The apple bottom make them want to bite.
Welcome inside FLA Live Arena here in Sunrise. Panthers and the Montreal Canadiens.
Hold up. If you don't know, now you know. If you broke, then you gotta let him go.
So with the Heat in the championship red and a blue that doesn't look anything like my suit tonight, it's time to ball, y'all. The Heat is on the radio.
Pack for the lead. In the air. Got it! 2-pointer. Pack puts Miami in front with 1 minute to go.
Jimmy with a low. Pump fake. Leans in for 3. Got it! Got it! Got it!
Gives to Kachuk, right circle, a shot, and he scores! Matthew Kachuk out of the right circle, and the Panthers take a 9-4 lead.
5-star food, that tastes so delicious.
And the final whistle brings a frantic close in the Bronx. And NYC pockets a win, even though they could not put the ball past Drake Callender. 1-0 on the own goal against McVay in the first half. Inter Miami, a gutsy effort they should be proud of.
Front tipped in, they score. Recovering a loose puck in front was Shifley, and he wins it for the Jets in overtime, 5-4 the final.
Cause girls is players too.
Good win by Orlando, 126-114 in overtime.
And the horn sounds, the Panthers take it tonight, 9-5.
This one belongs to the Heat, 119-115, led by the 24 points of Jimmy Butler. Oh, they're playing the music early, but it is winning time. This one belongs to the Heat, 138-119, taking care of business.
What you know about living on the top?
And the Hurricanes go on a 16-1 run, and Miami goes to round 2 of the NCAA tournament in incredible, dramatic fashion. Miami 63, Drake 56. That's your final score in Albany. What a change of events.
Apple bottom make them want to bite. I just want to have a good
Jam-packed sports week here in South Florida. Jam-packed sports weekend. We got a lot going on today, tomorrow, and further. Let's get to some headlines to get you up to date on all of it. Former All-Pro Patriots punter Jake Bailey has signed with the Dolphins. Yesterday, Miami further bolstered their special teams by inking former Canes returner Braxton Berrios. Behind a strong second half, the Canes men's basketball team defeated Drake 63-56. They face 4-seed Indiana tomorrow at 8:40. The ladies, they beat Oklahoma State earlier today, 62-61, and they're going to be facing number 1 seed Indiana on Monday. Of course, we're both feeling good about the men's team, Vlad. I think we got the men's basketball team Norchad O'Meara in there, maybe not 100%, but still playing, having his big presence. Having a good feeling about at least I think the men's team has a very good chance to advance to the Sweet 16.
I got them in the Final Four.
Yeah, you still got them?
I got them winning it. Even I don't have them winning it on my bracket, but I've been saying it. I've been saying it that they were going to get the treble, but now they can just get the, they can get the 2. So they can get the brace. So big win. Listen, I've over the last 5 years, I think ever since Virginia got upset as the number 1 seed, every game, I wouldn't even bet on these college basketball games. I know this is a big time for gamblers to gamble right now, but I wouldn't, because a 16 seed can cover against a 1.
Mm-hmm.
And not only can they cover, they can win. We saw that. We saw Purdue lose. You saw Arizona lose. You saw Virginia lose again. Like, the fact that the Canes struggled, fought back, ended the game strong, and won. Listen, Jim Valvano was right. Survive and advance. That's all it is. Just survive and advance. That's all. Just win and advance. That's all.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We got to like that about the Canes. They maybe came out a little dull, and they didn't look their best. And, of course, they were everybody's upset special. Watch out for Drake. But they got it together. Coach Larranaga, he knows what he's doing. He got the guys right. They ended on a hot run. Now, now the nerves are a little bit out. That first game's got to be tough. I mean, of course, I've never played in the NCAA tournament, but that first game's got to be a little bit tough right there. There's a lot of pressure. You're trying to figure things out. Now you can maybe play a little more loose, a little more free. You got that win under your belt. You can just kind of be more of yourself. And it seems like that's what the Miami Hurricanes did last night. I like them against Indiana. Indiana, a lot of people, the pundits are saying, oh, Indiana's a Final Four team. I don't know about all that. Now, the women's team, they play a number 1 seeded Indiana. There's so much like not parity, it seems like, in the women's basketball game. Like,
it's South Carolina.
The number 1 seeds are just far and above better than even the number 2 seeds, it seems like, sometimes in the women's bracket. So tall task for Katie Meyer and the team. I will admit that.
Well, I mean, the best players in I'm breaking this down like I'm Rebecca Lobo or something like that.
Go on.
But I'm just saying the best female players stay 4 years.
Yeah.
The men players, they just stay a year or 2, and then they move on to the NBA draft. So that's why I think there's just so much parity in college basketball right now, because I think, put it this way, the last time I was excited for college basketball was when Zion was at Duke with RJ Barrett and Cam Reddish. Mm-hmm. That's because that was the first time in a long time that you knew of a high school sensation that was going to college, and you that was worth watching, putting time to watch. Now you don't know these guys. You don't know any of these guys.
The days of developing a relationship with a college basketball team like a Christian Laettner, Antonio Lang.
But even with that, I mean, growing up in New York. We used to, basketball was our thing. So we knew the high school players that
Felipe
were gonna,
Lopez,
right? Felipe, Steph, Stephon Marbury.
Those days are gone.
Yeah, I got to make sure I say the right stuff. When I say stuff now, I got to say Marbury, Felipe, Kareem Reed, God Shamgod, all those guys that we knew when they were going to announce. I mean, when you were talking about the Big East, those were the times when college basketball was was just up there with college football. Like when a college basketball top recruit was choosing what school he was going to, it was big. Like when Chris Webber and the Fab Five were deciding to go to Michigan, it was a big thing when Chris Webber decided to go to Michigan along with Jalen Rose. That's what it is right now. But the college football with the high school recruits, they took it and they surpassed anything college basketball could ever think of. I mean, you have 3 shows basically a year that's just on early signing.
Yeah, I can't even keep up with all the
You can't even
dates.
keep it. Like, I got to ask Alex Dono, you know what I'm saying, to know about all of that. So that's why I believe that there's so much parity in college basketball now, where you don't have a legitimate team that you're like, oh my God, this is like the clear-cut favorite. This season, there were so many different number one teams nationally that it's not really shocking that Purdue lost to Fairleigh Dickinson.
And Joe Zagacki brought up a good point a couple of weeks ago when we had him on the show. 10 minutes of bad basketball can cost you a season in the NCAA tournament. That's why they call it madness. I'd say even less than 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes of bad basketball.
5 minutes
can cost you, especially when you get to the advanced stages. 5 minutes of bad basketball, or not having it together basketball, can cost you your season.
Dan, you're absolutely right. 5 minutes of bad basketball can turn your 11-point lead to a 3-point deficit.
Yeah,
very quickly.
I think it was Xavier the other day. They were down by like 12, and they made a run.
Right,
and
they came back and won by 2.
Yeah,
like
Dead.
that's what a bad 5 minutes can do
to you. That's it.
You
And
know,
you're going home.
and mental mistakes.
But we played well. Well, no, you played bad.
But you
for
make
5
mental
minutes.
mistakes. Look at the Virginia player.
You played bad for 5 minutes.
Why did he throw that ball?
Yeah.
Why? And he's a senior. He's a 5th-year senior. Why did he do that? Why did he do
terrible last night too? That inbound pass, that was just disgusting and costing the season. Oh well, number 1 seed for naught. The Heat, they are in Chicago tonight. They're going to face the Bulls. Tip is at 8 o'clock. Alejandro Solana going to get preheat going at 6:45. Tommy Tighe, he stopped by earlier. He was telling some stories and talking basketball and hoops. He's going to be on at 7:30 for the pregame. Jason Jackson, he's solo tonight. He's going to be calling the game, then postgame again with Alejandro Solana and Tommy Tighe. The Marlins, they're not doing so well in spring training, playing the Nationals today. Hopefully they don't lose 18-1 like they did the other day. It really wasn't 18-1. I think it was 16-2. But
You know what's sad? That the best baseball Lone Depot Park's going to see is right now.
Oh, well, I mean,
or the past
Classic,
week,
man.
the past
Come
2
on.
weeks. This is the best quality of baseball they're going to see.
I'm still hopeful. I'm still hopeful for the Marlins.
Boy, hope. What is it? Hope springs eternal joy?
You know, it does, man. That's what spring training and opening day is all about. Everybody's got a shot. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And, the Marlins, they've made some moves and gotten some other, additions to the team. And got a like Jazz Chisholm's going to be playing center field this year instead of second base. He was an all-star starter at second base. They're still putting him on center field.
Hey, he is the cover of MLB 24?
Maybe. Yeah.
No. Jazz Chisholm. Like he's
was?
Yes. You didn't know that?
I don't play video games, man.
Oh man, yeah, he's the cover. He's the cover
sweet.
of MLB.
I love to go now. Go to Bowl Bar one day, maybe go to a Marlins game. That'd be awesome.
No, we're going opening day because that's the only day that there's going to be a sold out crowd. Except
I don't think it's gonna be sold out.
No, it'll be sold out for the Mets. Yeah.
Oh, because it is the Mets.
There's gonna be 3. There's gonna be 3 series. That's
gonna be March
sell out.
30th. March 30th at 4 o'clock. That is opening day.
No, I'm sorry. There's gonna be 4 series that's gonna sell out this year. When the Yankees come to town, when the Mets come to town, when the Phillies play, and I think they go to Boston. I think Boston may come here. If Boston comes here, yes, that will sell out. But other than that,
and you get some good nights when Sandy's on the bump. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt. Mm-hmm.
You may get like 15,000 that night. They might
get a little pop if it's on a Friday or Saturday.
Oh, it's a Friday. Yeah, they might take the family out.
Lionel Messi's father and agent Jorge denied rumors that his son left PSG's practice facility and is asking for 600 million euros from Saudi Arabia's Al Hilal, but he did not rule out Messi playing for Inter Miami in the future. Messi or no Messi, the Herons, they play Toronto FC tonight at 7:30, expecting the Herons to get right. Their loss to NYCFC last week. Own goal. I mean, those count. Unfortunately, could have been a 0-0 scoreless draw. Unfortunately, they dropped the points because of the own goal. Still, Drake Callender has yet to allow the other team to score this season on him in 3 games. Expecting to bounce back tonight from Inter Miami. They signed Bryce Duke to an extension. I like what Bryce Duke has been able to do with the team. So very excited. And I'm just hoping Inter Miami, they get right tonight against Toronto FC. After hanging 9 on the Canadiens Thursday, the Panthers play the Devils tonight at 6. Panthers are they making the move? Are they making the move that we've been waiting for all season long? I want to say yes. Vlad, reassure me. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Good.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll get a win tonight. And I mean, that was a little disappointing against Winnipeg the other night, but they looked like they were going to lose. Then they came back, tied it, and then lost in overtime, but they still got the 1 point because it went to overtime. So it's not a win, but it's not a loss. But it's not really helping that much. But 1 point's better than no points. You do the math, you figure it out. Come on. The Devils are a good team. So that's one of those things. Panthers, let's take care of some business tonight and get things going.
Panthers, the puck drop right now.
Let's go. 6 o'clock.
6
Oh,
o'clock.
crap. I keep thinking we're on from noon to 4 today. I don't know what I'm doing half the time over here.
No, this ain't West Coast time, buddy.
In less than an hour, World Baseball Classic, USA, Venezuela, Lone Depot Park, 7 o'clock. That winner advances to the semifinal to play Cuba tomorrow. Oh, we'd be so excited to see USA Cuba on a Sunday, Lone Depot Park in Miami. in
So
Little Havana.
So what we have? Puerto Rico versus Japan, and U.S. versus it could be U.S. versus Cuba, or
Yes, or
Venezuela versus
and
Cuba.
Venezuela's look good.
You got that's 5 good teams there. So you could whatever semifinal matchup, you're gonna have 2 quality
And
sides.
all the
2
games
quality
sold out.
matchups. Good. Yeah. Well, great. That's the only sellout you're gonna see, pretty much.
Taking shots at the Marlins. Oh, just keep taking those shots.
I'm not taking shots. I'm being real.
Let's be real. FAU, they hit a last-second layup to down Memphis in the NCAA tournament. They will play 16 seed Fairleigh Dickinson tomorrow at 7:45. Memphis, I don't know what type of defense they were playing on that last offensive possession for FAU, but it was just a walk down the lane. And he just laid it in. Good for FAU. I'm very excited. I know you're an alumnus, Vlad, so you have to be stoked up about
I am
this.
stoked, bro. I'm happy for them. I am happy.
And you get a winnable game against Fairleigh
Listen,
Dickinson.
I would love for FAU to play Sweet 16 at the Garden.
That'd be great.
What
a season.
That'd be awesome.
I mean, they've had a legendary season for their program. And then if they could cap it off with going to at least the Sweet 16.
Sweet 16.
And they were for real last night. It wasn't it was kind of frantic at the end with Memphis, but it wasn't like, they had to make some big run. They were right there neck and neck, them and Memphis going toe to toe in the middle of the cell, as they say, just going back and forth and back and forth. And FAU gets that crazy ending, and everybody's happy. Everybody's feeling good. You have a chance now for the Miami Hurricanes men and women's team.
By the way, I'm sorry. It's Mexico. I forgot Mexico
Mexico's
beat
real
Puerto
good,
Rico.
too.
Yes,
Mexico's
they came
real
back.
good.
So it's Mexico versus Japan in the semifinal on
Japan's
Monday.
really, everybody's really good at this point. But Mexico and Japan have been extremely, extremely hard to beat in this World Baseball Classic. Venezuela's been good too. I saw Pablo Lopez pitching the other day against Puerto Rico. Place was rocking, and he was rocking the mound. So Pablo Lopez liked being back in Miami, but we're not going to be seeing him for the Marlins this year. Going to miss him, but at the same time, got to do what you got to do if you are the Marlins. Speaking of doing what you got to do, Novak Djokovic, he does not want to get a COVID-19 vaccine, and he has been denied a vaccine exemption by the U.S. and will not be able to participate in the Miami Open, which begins next week. Miami Open.
You should have went to DeSantis.
Oh, goodness. Appeal to him, man. Appeal to him. Yeah. So no, Novak Djokovic at the Miami Open. We'll have to see about that. But look, we're talking about the Miami Hurricanes, the men's team, the women's team, and FAU all have a possibility to go to the Sweet 16. How much fun would that be right there? Katie Meyer, of course, they got the tall task of playing not top rank, but 1 seed Indiana, of course, 4 seed Indiana playing the men's team, and then FAU getting that 16 seed Fairleigh Dickinson. I like the odds on FAU and Miami men's. The women's, like I said, there's just not a lot of parity sometimes in the women's game. I'm a little nervous, I'll be honest, about the women's team, but hey, you know what? That's why they play the game. So let's take down Indiana on both sides, and let's get the Owls rocking and rolling, and then let the chips fall where they may when we all get to the Sweet 16.
I love that. Listen, we got some textures.
Oh, we got
with
text.
some
What we
new
got?
information.
What we got? Oh,
So our boy from last week, Cabbage Roll Paulie.
Oh, my guy, Bull Bar.
He said, "Hey guys, love the show. You guys should take a oh, well, no, that's somebody else. I'm sorry." He's like, "Hey, Double D, this is Cabbage Roll Paulie. I may have spoken too soon about the Bull Bar. I did a drive-by the other day. I hadn't been there in a couple of months, and when I went by it, it was boarded up.
No.
So I think we need to find ourselves another venue for the field trip."
I knew it. Somebody told me they
check back on the thread. I was trying to let you know that as of 2 days ago, the Bull Bar was ixnay.
Yeah,
No
I had heard those rumors, and I was hoping beyond hope it just looked like a dive bar, and it's kind of dumpy, but I think Bull Bar's done. Oh, man. So we're going to a place called, I think there's a place called Thank You Miami around there. That's really cool. Of course, they got the Nightlife Brewery. That is a really cool place around there. And I'm sure.
Hey, man, I got a question.
Yeah.
What's up with everybody and going drinking and throwing axes?
Are you
down with that?
Drinking and any type
Sharp
of
objects are not allowed.
I saw it in Wynwood the other day. There was an axe throwing bar, and I was like, okay, doing any type of physical activity when I'm drinking, much less dangerous activity when I'm drinking, that's not for me. That's not my jam.
No, I don't like it.
I don't want to throw axes. I don't want to shoot handguns. I don't want to do anything that could be potentially dangerous when I'm getting boozed up.
I just don't like anything sharp next to me or around me. People have bad aims.
Would you get a kick out of throwing an axe at a board?
No.
No, I could see shooting off an Uzi like at a range. That looks like it could be some fun.
I mean, that's different.
Squeeze off a couple rounds.
But
you know?
me
But not drunk.
inebriated,
Not
just
drunk.
throwing. Hey, let me see how far I can throw this axe.
I don't know. I saw it in Wynwood the other day. I walked by it and I was like, not doing that. Nope. And I'm sure it's cheap too to do. I bet.
No, I hear it's a great party. Like people,
really?
Yeah, people have been telling me like, "Oh no, you should do it. It's
They
a
look
great
like
time."
they're having fun. I will say the people in Wynwood were smiling and drinking.
Listen,
and
I had a
throwing
homegirl
axes.
of mine. She went there. She went with her friends. She said she had a great time. But I'm like, yeah, y'all were drunk. Like, I wouldn't trust y'all with some axes. Drunk.
Apparently they take precautions. I don't know. I'm probably not going to do that anytime soon, but the weekend is young and still celebrating. Well, of course, yesterday was St. Patrick's Day. Tomorrow's St. Joseph's Day. So I know the Italian American population gets their day tomorrow. So it's a big party weekend. Who knows? Get drunk.
Oh, really? Tomorrow's St. Joseph's Day?
Yeah, tomorrow is St. Joseph's Day. Get drunk, throw some axes, throw down some spaghetti.
I'm gonna go eat some food.
I do love some Italian food. Best,
definitely.
Man, I don't know what I love Italian. What Italian food I love the most? Like lasagna is classic, but gnocchi is also so good. I love gnocchi. And what's your go-to Italian?
Damn. I mean,
It's
I
tough.
love it.
Just get in my mouth.
I love
Get in there. I don't like their desserts so much, but I do love the.
Wait, you don't like a cannoli?
Nah, I don't like.
I love cannolis.
Overrated, man.
Oh man, me and my friends. If you guys, long-time listeners of the WQAM, the Dirty Boys. So Joe Costello, Paul the White Guy, and Anthony and the Mark Eisenberg. So we used to do Satriels. We used to do a late night show, and then after show we would have a barbecue and like make fun of all the people that are getting up to go to work while we just finished work and we're barbecuing like we're the Sopranos, at Satriels and just eating all just a crazy amount of good food. But yeah, man, you have to have cannolis, bro.
Well, Jurassic 22 says chicken parm is their go-to.
Chicken parm, you can't go wrong.
Like, man,
you can never go wrong.
I got this place by my house. We got two great Italian places by my place in North Beach. There's a place called Prima Pasta, and there's a place called George's. And this place, George's, has the biggest chicken parm I've ever seen. Like, it takes up the whole table. And that sounds like something I want to get into. So.
Yes, sir. I can't say what you said, but that is my favorite meal also. That would be my favorite Italian meal.
With that being said, let's go ahead and take a step into the day spa. A woman was embarrassed to find out that while working out half naked at her house, window washers stopped by to do their job and take a peek.
Hey, man.
They're doing their job.
And they're taking a peek.
Hey, well, don't get mad at that man for doing his job. You got a job to do.
He's got to see.
Got to do a job.
He's got to see to do his job.
That's right. Why are you working out half naked? You know what? You do you. He does him.
I mean, when you're saying half naked, she like naked? Like
hey, I'll put it up on my Twitter page at Dan Day Radio. I meant to send you a link for it. She's like wearing like a
sports bra,
like a G-string and a sports bra. Hey, she shouldn't have no shame. Hey,
what kind of workout you doing
at home? I mean, it's home workout. I can't work out at home, man. I got to go to the gym. I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and they're like, "I'm gonna start working out from home because I've got like this free training from work, and they're gonna train me." And like, I was like, "Man, it's not the same, man. Home workouts are not like going to the gym and busting it out."
I would love to see Monica Bellucci work out.
Okay, that's enough about the Italian food. We're good.
I didn't say anything about that.
Hey, I'm just trying to pull it all together, man. String it all together. All right, so Alejandro Solana's supposed to be around. He's supposed to be busting up in here. We're going to get ready for preheat the Heat and the Bulls tonight, 6:45. Then tomorrow on our sister station, Power 96. But you still got a couple of more minutes of Vlad and myself. This is Sports Day on 560 WQAM.
Listen to WQAM for Cat Talk.
560 WQAM. This is Sports Day Live from Miami. You hear the sounds of one Puerto Rican, Bendito, Boricua, Bad Bunny. Man, I love Bad Bunny so much. Not just because of the music that he makes, not just because of his attitude and his personality and the stuff that he puts out there, but because he recently took a shot at his baby's ex-boyfriend. You know who his baby is. Kendall
man.
Jenner. And you know who her ex is.
Devin Booker, man.
Devin Booker. Ha! Take that. I'm not a Devin Booker fan, man. Straight up. I don't like the Suns. Never really liked Devin Booker very much. And apparently Bad Bunny, Quinito Malo does not like.
You don't like the sun shining? What's wrong with you, man?
I don't like it, man. No. And you know what? Kendall Jenner doesn't like him that much either anymore because she got Bad Bunny. She's hooking up with Bad Bunny. Devin Booker, I'm sure he's a nice guy. Whatever. But Bad Bunny took a shot, and one of his songs I'm hearing recently kind of said,
yes,
a few things
according to Page 6. You know, the reliable Page 6.
I count on that, man.
Yes. He took a shot at Mr. Devin Booker, the shooting guard of the Phoenix Suns, in a verse on, I hope I'm saying the guy's name right, Eladio Carry On. I know I messed up the name.
That's okay. Alejandro Solano will be in here in just a minute.
The track's called Coco Chanel. Coco Chanel.
Coco Chanel, I can say that.
And he says, I'm not bad, baby. That's a gimmick, but the Puerto Rico sun is warmer than the one in Phoenix.
Woo! That's Bad Bunny for you right there. I don't know if I waste my energy taking shots at, my lady's ex. I'm trying to be the bigger man and like not pay the attention, but I guess when you're a public figure, it's kind of a chance right there. I don't know, though. Bad Bunny is a basketball fan. We've seen him at Heat games.
And he's at Laker games. He's a big LeBron fan.
Oh, yeah, that's right. When LeBron broke Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's scoring record, Bad Bunny dapped him up. And they had no idea what each other were saying. Although Bad Bunny speaks a little bit of English. But LeBron and him were just like, hey, did you hear him when he was mic'd up? He goes, yeah. I was like, that was awkward.
No, he called him. He told him he's the GOAT, and he said it in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
What is it, Cabrillo? Think so?
No. How do you say goat? I used to know how to say it, and because I ate some goat one time with Giuseppe, and Giuseppe was telling me cabra. Yeah, called him cabra. I like to eat a little bit of goat here and there, if it's made right.
I mean, I can't say that I haven't eaten cabrit before.
Yeah,
cabrit.
Yeah, you dabbled in some things like that. So Bad Bunny taking shots at Devin Booker. Bad Bunny. It's La Playa, not the player. Snoop Dogg's friend right there. So
what is he, a switch hitter?
Bad Bunny?
Yeah.
I think he's more of a ladies' man, but every once in a while he just kind of tries to
stir the pot.
Yeah, I think that's more of what it is than anything. Listen to
like Lil Nas X does and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Lil Nas X is a little more down for the game than I think Bad Bunny is. I think Bad Bunny may like kiss one of his dancers on the. I don't know. I'm talking myself into a scary territory, but I think Bad Bunny does maybe more of some of the awkward things for shock value, and he's more about the look. He's got Kendall Jenner. Come on, man.
I mean, listen. I mean, it's
Kendall Jenner.
It's the Jenner Kardashian family. They always do anything for publicity.
Who's the best? The Kardashians. In your
looking?
Eyes? Yeah, might be Kendall. I like Courtney a lot, and she's got Travis Barker, who's one of the coolest dudes in the world.
Right.
But I also like Kendall solid. She's going out with Bad Bunny.
Yeah, who is the best look? Who is? I mean,
they're
all beautiful. First and foremost.
I'm not a huge Chloe fan, but that's okay.
You know what though?
She's come around. She's changed a lot.
The something about Chloe. I'm not putting her one, but you know what I mean? Like that's not jump on no grenade or anything like that. You know what I mean? That's yeah. But they all look good. You know what? I'm gonna go with Kim.
You got Kim?
Yeah, I got
the
Kim.
classic. The classic.
Yeah.
Oh, well, good. We were speaking about Bad Bunny, and we were all excited about everything. So I figured, why not, before he gets on the air, and a little bit of pre-heat for you in just a couple of minutes, Alejandro Solana come in and talk a little bit about what's going on in the world, and maybe ask him a couple of questions, see how the world.
You're right there, Solana. Solana looks like he's tired, man.
Solana, I'm tired. I mean, we are working nonstop all the time, and we got a game tonight, got a game tomorrow night. Maybe he's just pacing himself a little bit. You got to pace yourself when things kind of get crazy.
Nah, it's not a pace. That's the pace
for the power game tomorrow.
That's a face of
I got
annoyance.
I got to exercise my demons tonight because I got to come back here tomorrow on Sunday and do the Heat game for a Power 96. So it should be interesting, should be fun. But once again, very, very proudly on the air, Power 96 is some Bad Bunny. We were talking about Bad Bunny. Took a shot at Devin Booker recently. Did you hear about that, Solana?
Did he really? You didn't know about this is why, man. Come on, Solana. What's going on with you?
I missed that.
All right. Do you know the name? All right. So you can correct me on the name of this.
He will. Don't worry, he will.
All right. The name of the artist. It's a song called Coco Chanel. Have you heard that song?
Coco Chanel.
Yes.
I think I have.
Eladio. Is that how you pronounce the name? Eladio.
Eladio?
It's Eladio.
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 I don't know who that is.
Eladio Carrion's track Coco Chanel. Bad Bunny sings in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not bad, baby. That's a gimmick. But the Puerto Rican sun is warmer than the one in Phoenix.
And that's a shot at Devin Booker.
Why would he clarify out of all the cities in the world that the sun is warmer than?
And that has to do with his new boo, right?
Yes.
Baby girl.
I like that.
I like that too.
That's a wordplay. That's bars. That's getting at your that's a shot. That's an absolute shot.
I do like that, man. I really do like that.
I don't like Devin Booker to begin with, so I'm even more happy with Bad Bunny right now.
Look at you.
I'm not a Suns fan.
You like that your man's taking shots at other people?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you the truth. Like in the Latin community right now, it's very split on whether people should support Bad Bunny and his new fling with one of the Kardashians or the Jenners or whatever.
He's dating a white girl.
Yeah. But
is she? No, she's not white.
Yeah, Armenian is white.
Are you kidding me? They're like Caucasians. The brand of white girls. Like they lead the white girl brigade.
They are.
Let's just clarify their whiteness. Let's just clarify their whiteness.
Yes, their dad, father is Bruce Jenner or Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh yeah, the Jenner people. Yeah.
And then the mom is the bad crazy.
Yeah, and then there's
woman that
I get
sold
that.
her own
But
sex tape.
the Latin community is it's very split.
Well,
I'm not really like.
He's a very polarizing figure.
He is. I'm not like really paying attention to it. But my girlfriend is. My girlfriend is like world's number one Bad Bunny fan. Which
that's why. I know.
I always tell her, very basic, Colombian, Venezuelan. And you love Bad Bunny, but she's all in on Benito, like all in.
Benito, that's his nickname.
Yeah, that's what we call him, Benito.
Benito.
Yeah. And she is very upset about.
She's upset.
She's very upset.
Is she not a Kardashian Jenner fan?
I feel like she is.
She's watched the shows, right? She's watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
I feel like she is. I don't really know what the deal is. I just think like he was. When everybody found out about Bad Bunny, when he really blew up on the stage or on the scene, he was dating like his high school sweetheart.
Yeah, but they weren't.
Women love that story.
They were in a committed relationship.
Well, now we found out after his most recent album because there's been videos of him like some girl, something right, and something happened where at one of his concerts he brought up a girl on stage who was just throwing it down, like and then
twerking or kissing.
Like twerking on him, just wild. And
then we're talking like Kodak Black at a Panthers game twerking.
We're talking about I'm talking about South Florida adult establishment type of twerking.
I'm talking about it makes Kodak Black at a Panthers game look PG.
Kindergarten.
On stage, he brought her up, and then he was courtside with her at a Lakers game, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean
last year.
So no, like this year. This happened this season. So. Everybody was like, "Oh, what's going on here?" Like I thought you were with your childhood sweetheart, and then he had to go out there and be like, "We love each other," one of those deals.
But
I'm sure she's set, and I'm number one on the market right now in the world. I'm gonna go and hook up with Kendall Jenner. And I support it, bro.
Bad choice.
My only thing is like, how much do we believe in the Kardashian curse?
That's what I'm scared about.
I absolutely
look
believe
at Ben Simmons, bro. I mean, that dude is
Kanye West.
The Kardashians have put down more brothers than the cops.
Yeah.
I spun off the planet.
You can say that.
That's why I did. That's what I did.
Let's
All right.
enough Kardashian.
Yes.
We can talk Bad Bunny. I can talk Bad Bunny all day. But let's talk about this Heat team. Solana, you got Pre coming up in a couple of minutes. Do you feel as though you kind of get the feeling this team's gotten healthy? They kind of figured things out. Do you think they've kind of turned a corner and can make a push to get out of this play-in spot? Maybe kind of move up to some of the higher seeds, 5, 4 seeds, something like that.
I don't know if 5-4 at this point is attainable. The Heat would have to
win out.
There's 11 games left, I believe. They would literally have to go like 9-2, and you're just hoping that New York, Vlad's team, will drop some games and the Nets continue to drop some games. I think the 6th seed is attainable. I think they end up in the 6th seed. Maybe I'm being too optimistic. Maybe I'm being a Heat homer, which a lot of people who listen to us accuse me of. That's fine. I think they get out of the 6th seed. I think their offense, since the All-Star break, the numbers show it, has been more consistent. They're not the Golden State Warriors of 2016, but they're still a better version of themselves offensively. I think things are starting to come together a little bit. Dan, truthfully, this 2-game series on the road against 2 below 500 teams, in the weirdest way, is going to tell us everything we need to know about the Miami Heat moving forward. I really believe that because they beat 2 quality teams. Utah's not really quality, but still,
I'm not gonna say they're bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's Utah. They're not good. They're not bad. They're a middling team who may be in the play-in in the West. But you beat them at home. You struggled to do it, right? You almost lost to them because of a guy none of us had ever heard of.
Markkanen's a baller, man.
No, Lauri Markkanen's good, but they were missing Colin Sexton and they were missing Jordan Clarkson. And you had to really squeak out a victory against them. But then against the Grizzlies, who I know don't have John Morant, they've still been winning. They had won 3 straight coming in. You blow them out. Your numbers have been trending in the right direction since the All-Star break offensively. You're 0-3 combined this season against the 2 next teams you play, 2 below 500 teams in the Eastern Conference. If you don't lose these 2 games, well, then we could feel much more confident moving in to the final 8-9 games of this season. If you lose both of these, or you split one of these and the Heat don't look good, Chicago played a double overtime game last night. And as good as Levine and DeRozan looked in that one, each of them logged. One of them logged 50 minutes. The other one logged like 49. And then Nikola Vucevic played 45. So
somebody might not be playing tonight.
They're all playing. Their 3 best players all logged more than 45 minutes last night against a shorthanded Minnesota Timberwolves team. The Heat are on 3 days rest.
Yeah. And
let's go.
And they're getting a lot of these the last 2 weeks. So
and then tomorrow, second night of the back-to-back, you're playing the worst team in the East who are trying to lose.
Yeah.
You're 0-3 this season combined against the Pistons and the Bulls. The Bulls earlier this year, they beat you to start the season. They were still a better team, and then they beat you again later on at home. So this is your first time you get to go on the road and play them. Can't lose to the Bulls on the second night of the back-to-back when they play that heavy minutes. And then tomorrow against the Pistons, it's too important of a time at this point in the season to lose to these teams right now, when you need victories and you can take advantage of them because of the situation.
You have 4 games starting tonight and then next Saturday. So tonight against Chicago and then Saturday against Brooklyn Nets, next Saturday against Brooklyn Nets. What's their record in these 4 games? I asked Tommy that. Tommy said 3-1.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. By the way, Tommy was great today. I listened to it. And the story about
Tricky Dicky, Richard Nixon, and George Brett.
Yeah, Tommy was phenomenal today.
He's got some stories for days. Real quick, we know Kyle Lowry not playing tonight. He's been coming off the bench. Do you like the idea, and do you like the way the team plays with Kyle Lowry coming off the bench?
Yeah, no, he's been really good off the bench. I just think at a certain point, if he continues to play well, I know he's not playing tonight, we'll probably play tomorrow, second night of back-to-back. The rotation, Dan, shrinks in the playoffs, right? We all know that. So as much as Gabe Vincent has played well at times this season, who do you want getting the majority of minutes in a crucial game or when games matter most in the postseason? My guess would be Eric Spoelstra wants Kyle Lowry out there, so he'll ultimately get back in the starting lineup in the playoffs. That's what I believe.
Okay, well, that's going to be interesting. Or he could be somebody can bolster coming off the bench. He's got some experience.
I like it, but you're not playing 10 deep in the playoffs. You're just not.
No, you don't have that room. You just don't have the room when everything's coming down to it. So tonight you get the Chicago Bulls. That's going to be here on 560 WQAM. Tomorrow, the Miami Heat are playing. Who are they playing tomorrow?
Detroit Pistons.
Oh, goodness. You just said the Pistons.
Solana and FM radio, man.
You're going to be right there.
This guy is just,
You're going to be right
radio
there.
star, man. He's
Power 96. And in a couple of minutes, you are going to have preheat. You're going to be a part of the broadcast. You're going to be part of the post game. And we're going to do it all again tomorrow. So get yourself ready. We're going to get out of your way. You, Tommy Tighe, Jason Jackson, the whole team. They are going to be. You guys are going to be making it happen. We appreciate it so much for you stopping by. And real quick, second favorite Bad Bunny song.
Why do you always do this? Why do you put me on the spot? What
Because I actually missed. You said Después de la Playa is your favorite.
All right. How about Te Boté, which is like the most basic one.
What about El Alpagón?
El Alpagón?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Can't play that one.
I had to like study Bad Bunny before coming on because he made me like resident Bad Bunny expert. I'm not. I just like his music.
Talk to your girl, man, every time, right before you come on.
Maybe we'll have her on, man. That'll be maybe a little better. We can get into the minutia of Bad Bunny and his life right there. Alejandro Solana, have a great broadcast tonight. We'll see you tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. And, of course, we'll see you on the Hawk and Crowder Show. For Vladmir Lewis, I am Dan Day. This has been Sports Day on 560 WQAM.
Text WQAM on the Kendall Toyota text line at 305-567-0560. Drive in the new year at Kendall Toyota. Get 0% financing with approved credit or make no payments for 90 days on select new Toyotas. And get our biggest selection in savings.
You have to mute these in the studio.